Hello fellow survivors and welcome to a walkthrough and playthrough of Wintermute, the story of the Long Dark, starting with episode 1, Do Not Go Gentle. This video will be a 100% completionist walkthrough where I go through the entire main quest and all side quests, including achievement. Outside of the main story, there are a total of 6 side quests, 2 of which can only be done after Grey Mother's main quest is completed. There are also 6 achievements, 4 of which you get naturally through the main story and 2 through side quests. Since many of you might also be new to the Long Dark and Wintermute is your introduction to the game, this walkthrough will also go over basic survival mechanics that explains how the game works. I also have extensive guides for survival mode if you want to learn more about that aspect. Finally, while this video is a 100% walkthrough of episode 1, it is also a playthrough, and therefore I will let things like dialogue be played out uninterrupted. There will be timestamps in the video and in the description if you want to skip to specific quests or events in the episode. With all that being said, let's jump in and warm up next to Grey Mother. Wait, what? Hello fellow survivors and welcome to the Long Dark Wintermute story mode. This is where the Long Dark came from, and I am Zach, your guide through survival and also this story mode. If you're new to this channel, I usually play survival mode, usually on the hardest difficulty. If you want to learn how to play the game and understand all the mechanics of it, I recommend you check out my videos on that instead. But if you want to just learn the basics of the game and see me go through the story, then this is the video for you, because what we're going to do today is we're going to go through all of the episodes, well, one video at a time of course, and we're going to go through it completely, 100% walkthrough. This will also be a playthrough because I never actually made any videos about the episodes before. I have played them all several times. I'm not an expert at them, but I do know them and I do know the game. So if you want, you can use this video both as an introduction to the game mechanics, introduction or walkthrough to the episodes, and as a playthrough going along for the ride. Because this is a walkthrough and a playthrough at the same time, what we're going to do is I'm going to play this on a new account that has never used Wintermute before, so you can see the achievements pop up, and I will also let things like dialogue and cinematics play out by themselves without me talking over it, so that people who don't really want to play the story but just see me play it can be along for the ride without me narrating over it. Other than that, I will narrate and explain things as I go along. I will skip 1 or 2 cinematics because they have copyrighted music on them, but other than that, we're along for the entire journey. Now in Wintermute there are 5 episodes. As of this recording, 4 of them are out, so I'm planning to record 1, 2, 3 and 4 prior to episode 5, which as of this recording is likely to come out in a month or 2 from now. In fact, you might even be watching this video after it's come out and they're all out. We're going to go through all of them, but in this video we're doing only episode 1. Because of that, this particular video will be a little bit different than the other episodes, because I'll also use this as an excuse to explain the basic mechanics of the game. So in episode 1 I will explain some of how the game works and some basic mechanics you can use to survive. So if you're new to the game as well, you can use this video as both a walkthrough of episode 1 and an introduction to the basic mechanics of the game without going into too much detail. My survival guides have more detail. The other episodes I won't go into that many mechanical, like survival mechanics, unless it's relevant to the story in some way. Okay, so let's hop in to episode 1. And we are going to go on the hardest difficulty. It doesn't really matter, unlike survival mode, because they aren't that different. They're just similar. They just like the different scales is what they are. So the lowest one, green, things are much easier. There's a bit the environment is less hostile, animals are less aggressive, and so on. And then these are just different versions of that. Hardened Survivor is the hardest, but you'll see it's not really that hard. So I'm going to do it on Hardened Survivor just to give you an idea of how this works. You can, when you watch this or you try yourself, you can do whatever you want. It doesn't really make a difference. I will say that because I usually play survival, there are likely to be 1 or 2 cases where I do something that doesn't actually work, because normally throughout the development of Long Dark, Wintermute or story mode and survival mode was interlinked, so an update in one updated the other. So if they changed something in story mode, they also changed in survival mode, and vice versa. If they added a new episode, whatever items were added in the episode was added to survival mode, and so on. However, in December 2022, they changed that and split them into two modes, or effectively two DLCs almost. So that meant that whenever the survival mode was updated, story mode was not necessarily updated. And there has been some changes to the game since then, so forgive me if I make one or two plays that might seem weird and we're like, oh, that didn't work because they stopped updating it. But it's unlikely to be many of those, so don't worry too much about it, but I'm just letting you know. And I do recommend playing survival mode if you're new to this game, because it is fantastic. Story mode is a good sort of soft tutorial to the game, and also it's got a good story. The story mode did come first, although the sandbox or survival was the one that was publicly launched first. But once you complete the story, if you like the game, I highly recommend trying survival mode, and also check out the Long Dark community, which is fantastic, very non-toxic and very friendly. Okay, I think we've been talking enough. Let's hop into survival mode. Let's hop into Hardened Survivor and do the story mode. Now in the opening scene, there's a lot of dialogue because it's just setting the basis for what the story is about to be. So the character's going to be talking a lot, and I'm not going to be talking that much, but as we progress, that will change. So let's hop in. Let's call this Sack Wintermute 1. Let's go.
Astrid. Astrid!
Alright, we will return to that scene soon. Bit of a bug there. Alright, I was gonna let this play out.
The Joker. Seems about right. Feels like another record cold snap on the way.
There should be subtitles, my mistake. Display subtitles on.
Get a fire going before the pipes freeze up again.
Oh, start a fire. By the way, I know that a lot of people that watch my videos are families, so because of that, I have put on the mature language filter. There's not a lot of swearing and stuff in this game, but there are some, and because of that, it's on. So if you're wondering, that's why. Okay, so here we are in Mackenzie's office. This is his hangar, and we need to start a fire over here. To do that, we need matches, so you can pick those up. We also need tinder, which is these ones. You can find these around, or you can harvest like a stick, or pick up cattail heads, that sort of thing, and that will work. Cooking pot. This is for cooking, obviously. We don't need that now, but we're still going to pick it up. And this is firewood. You can start fire with these, but also sticks or whatever. This also is tinder, newsprint roll. In fact, you can even make tinder with them. And normally you can search these. This also is tinder. When you start a fire, you would then have to click on the stove, or if you're in the wild, you can create a campfire. We'll get back to that. Click start fire, and you have your starter, which is wood matches. You have to have tinder in some form or another, and you have to have fuel. Accelerant is optional. That's just to start the fire faster and increase its likelihood. In this case, we got a 75% chance. So if you start a fire and you don't succeed, then you just got to do it again, and it's just really a probability thing. You will eventually succeed, but sometimes you're just one of those people who fail a 90% chance 10 times in a row. And statistically, it will eventually happen. Yeah, fire has been made. Now let's explore the hangar, and we can have a little look around. It's kind of like a timed thing now, sort of thing, until the phone rings, I think.
Great Bear Island. Dad used to fly there all the time. He said it used to be beautiful. Not much reason to go there these days, since the quakes and all.
Yeah. Certificate of Aviation.
A rare Mackenzie family photo.
I barely had a chance to look at it, but okay.
Miss you, Dad.
Yeah. And here's his plane. This is, I guess it's the Jackrabbit plane sort of thing that he uses to get there. And here is the bed where we can sleep. We're not going to do that now, though. Here is
Those were better days.
Astrid, who is presumably your ex-wife. And she'll appear soon. Bunch of stuff here we don't really need to look at. And then here is a good old plane.
Well, here we are, old girl. Your best flights may be behind you, but you're still beautiful to me. And anyways, you're all I've got.
Yeah.
I'd sure love to give you one last great adventure.
Careful what you wish for.
I don't remember needing my parka this early in the season. It seems to get colder every year. Getting pretty late in the day. Guess I could take a nap.
Yeah. So it's possible to explore more of this, but it's not really necessary. You're tired. Take a nap. There isn't really anything to it as such. You can explore more if you want, but there isn't much to it.
Remote transport. 0 flights a day to the mainland communities and, well, anywhere.
0 flights a day. Before I do anything else, let me just give you a disclaimer. I am well versed in this game, a veteran survivor on survival mode. I have played story mode several times too, so I know it fairly well, particularly the maps. That being said, I'm not a lore expert. I do know some of it, but if you are looking for detailed information about the background of the story, extended lore behind it, I recommend checking out the YouTube channel called Toasty Bits, who is sort of like our resident historian of the Long Dark. He knows everything there is to know about the deep dive of the history of the Long Dark. So check him out for details about the story. Check me out for the gameplay of it. Okay, let's go and take a nap.
Who could that be?
Answer the phone. Okay, let's just go and do that.
Jackrabbit Remote Transport, Mackenzie speaking.
I told her not to come up. I told her you couldn't fly in this weather. For once, will you not be so damn
Whoa,
stubborn and
whoa,
listen?
slow down, Maureen. What are you talking about?
She just showed up. Said you'd see her. Said you'd fly her north. I know you need the money. The weather service...
It's okay, Maureen. I've got it from here.
Hello, Will.
What are you doing here?
It's been a while, I know.
Yeah. Years. I haven't heard from you since...
I know. And I wouldn't be here if it weren't important.
Well... What brings you... I mean... Are you sick?
No, not me. But I need to get to someone who is.
Right. So you're still a doctor?
Yes, I'm still a doctor.
I thought that after... Why are you here?
I need your help. There's an isolated community in the northern part of Great Bear. Someone there is very sick.
Great Bear? There's nothing there anymore. Not since...
I know. But I have to get there.
Still trying to save the world, huh?
Somebody has to.
What's that supposed to mean?
Mackenzie, Will, I didn't come here to fight about the past. I need a pilot to take me somewhere remote. Someone who won't ask too many questions. Someone I can trust.
Wait. Questions? Astrid, are you in trouble?
Are you gonna help me, or not?
What's in the case?
See, there's that thing about no questions, remember?
What's in the case, Astrid?
No questions.
Look, the weather out there is bad. Bad. But it's getting worse. You walk in here after years. I could have been dead. You could have been. And then you show up and you want me to just risk my life flying into the middle of the great northern nowhere to deliver you in some mystery metal case to some remote wilderness outpost, all because you walked in here and asked me to?
Yes.
Astrid, you can't bring him back.
This isn't about that.
I know how hard it's been.
No. You don't know, Mackenzie. You don't know anything.
You don't think I feel it too?
Are you gonna take me or not? The longer I wait, the worse it'll get. Damn it. I don't have time for this.
Wait. The worse what we'll get? Why do I have a feeling you're not talking about the weather?
Because I'm not.
Throw your bags in the plane. I'll get started on pre-flight. Better buckle up tight, because it's gonna be a rough ride. Let's see. 2 people plus enough fuel to get us out to Great Bear and back leaves... almost no capacity for cargo. If we're too heavy, we'll burn through our fuel before we get there. I'll have to be careful about what else I take with me.
Alright, so let's choose some stuff. Just so, in case you didn't catch it, it's heavily implied that Astrid and Will are previously married, and they probably lost a child based on the photo being cracked in the opening sequence and all this stuff. But anyway, that's a story for another day. Also, if you didn't notice, the voice of Will and the voice of Astrid are the shepherds from Mass Effect. It's Jennifer Hale for Astrid and Mark Mayer for Will, which is the voices of Shepard in Mass Effect. Okay, so here we gotta do a small thing, which is load up the plane. You can click J to get the logo, the journal. It says what to do. Load Astrid's gear into the plane and select extra cargo. So Astrid's gear is presumably here. Here's a hard case. This is basically really important to the story. You're basically trying to find this case and give it to the right person. So you pick that up.
Mysterious case. Astrid definitely doesn't want to talk about what's inside. Which means she's probably not supposed to have it.
Yeah, it's probably the case from Pulp Fiction. And backpack.
Astrid's traveling pretty light. Wherever she's going, she must not be planning to stay long.
Let me put this in here. Put these in the hatch.
Just need to grab my parka and we can go.
It's a bit weird that you know, search it first. You still have an optional thing, which is extra cargo, which is these ones. So you got, if you click this, I think it ends. We have these 3. So this is basically extra stuff that comes with, effectively. It doesn't really matter. So here's some food.
Astrid's a doctor, so we're covered there.
And there's a distress pistol. It doesn't really matter what you take. Like, depending on how you play, like food might help you complete the story a bit faster. Healing in case you get into trouble. This is just better deterrent, to be honest. So I would take this. It would make it easy against the wolves to take that, but it doesn't really matter. Put that in here too. Boom. And then you click on this. And now we roll.
I see you're still wearing it.
Huh? Wearing what?
Your ring. Our ring.
Oh. Yeah. I mean, I just forgot to take it off.
I wear mine too.
Why?
Memories, I guess.
I thought you wanted to forget.
Not all of it.
Look. I should have looked for you.
It's okay. I've kept busy. I've moved on.
You sure? Because this all seems pretty familiar. You still working with that researcher, Doctor, what's his name?
No. No, I'm not working at the center anymore.
Well, then where?
I'm working on my own. Freelance, you could say.
Freelance doctor. That sounds legit.
I don't question your life choices, Mackenzie. Plenty of things you could be doing besides hanging out in your dad's old plane and drinking in the daytime.
Hey, we had a lot of good times in this plane. And it's under control.
I know, okay? I'm not here to fight, really.
I think about him all the time, you know?
I know you do.
But I did. The choice I made. I did it for us.
You don't have to. Let's just not...
No. It's important that you hear this. There's things I need to say.
Mackenzie, not now. There's...
Just let me tell you.
Will, shut up for a second. Something's wrong.
That is not good.
What's going on?
Power's gone. Whole electrical system looks fried.
Shit! What's happening?
No power means we're going down. Hold tight.
Will?
And there we are again. And let's take it from here. The game is now going to give you a very basic tutorial with the essence of what the game is about without going into detail. There's a lot of mechanics in this game that are never introduced or explained. You just have to learn what they are. But the basics are shown here in this episode.
I must have gone right through the windshield. Trees broke my fall. Oh, mostly.
Yeah. Honestly, it's a miracle you're alive. Well, crashing and falling. Right, so we have a blood loss right now. When you have that, you actually bleed to death. You can see it by clicking F or going into the menu here. You can see you got blood loss, sprained ankle, sprained wrist, pain. Now the ankles you can bandage, but you can also treat them by just resting, as in sleeping. But the blood loss doesn't do much. You have to treat it. So you got to find some first aid. So look around. You'll find some other stuff. Cloth that can be handy for repairs. You can also make bandages from them. This is wood. Crates you can break down. There could be stuff inside, but in general, I wouldn't really worry about the crates. Instead, find the other stuff that's around here. Some tinder, a stick, a book can be used to start a fire. Some more cloth. More wood. Just look around so you can find anything. You can break down these crates later if you want to, but we don't really need to. Sticks are good for tinder and wood. Cardboard box. Good to have it in the long run, just pick up all the sticks. More wood, more tinder, cloth, wood. Until we come to this cave. And what we're going to do is stop the blood loss first. You can see. Now we do have one bandage. Okay, if for some reason you didn't have one, you could also make a bandage from the cloths here. Click action and harvest. And you'll see it takes 10 minutes. You'll take a little bit of damage doing it. See, my health is going to go down now because I'm cold and I'm bleeding to death. But that's okay. So you could have done that, but you already had a bandage spawning in. You select it here in the radio menu, which is for space in the computer. Or I'm not going to use computer inputs here, by the way, but there are equivalents on the other one, on the consoles. But you can also go here on the tools and click here and click use. What you want to do is the first aid on the blood loss. The sprains will heal when you rest. Okay, let's make a fire, and I just use 4, but you can also do this. Use the radial again. Choose fire. Has got some. Oops, sorry. Journal comes here too. Choose bottom right. This bottom left. Sorry, it says campcraft. Choose that. Choose a fire. Put this somewhere, like here, for example. You got matches, newsprint, book, start the fire. And you got a fire.
Come on. Come on. I don't
There we
feel
are.
so good.
Now we're warming up.
I
Now
need to rest up.
in story mode, I believe it's like lower difficulties on survival mode, where there's a function where if you start a fire, regardless of what the temperature is around you, and regardless of the temperature of the fire, you will always be warm when standing next to a fire. But in survival mode, that won't necessarily be the case. You have to actually warm it up high enough. In any case, let's sleep. Let's just put some more on here, put some wood on here, so we can sleep a little bit longer. Not that really matters. And we can click the sleep. Yeah, now you can
Master
see.
hasn't come looking for me. Which means she can't come looking for me. Because she's hurt. Or worse. I'd better get back up to the crash site.
Yeah. So now you actually gotta move around. So normally when you sleep, you might have a bedroll on you. You'll get one. When you sleep, you have to say how long you want to sleep. But sometimes in story mode, they'll just tell you to sleep, so it doesn't really matter. But if this was normally the case, you'd have to make a fire that lasted long enough for you to sleep that far. But in story mode, very often they don't do that. Now, we don't have any food or water, so we're going to have to make some. We can start a fire to do it. But also now that we are a bit warmer and that, we probably can break down some of these things here. And there'll be stuff inside, most likely. Some of them have stuff, some don't. For example, I know that, I'm not sure if it's this one, but one of them does have stuff inside. Not those ones. Well, even if they don't, you do get wood from them. I can't remember which one has stuff inside, but it doesn't really matter. Over here, though, is a box we can open. Like that. We got more matches. And we got a soda, which we can drink to maintain thirst. One thing you gotta think about is don't worry too much about the meters. So the bottom left, you have cold, fatigue, thirst, and hunger. A lot of players get panicky when they start going down. Oh, I'm thirsty or hungry, I'm going to die. But actually, you take very little damage from thirst and hunger. 2% from thirst, 1% from hunger per hour. And same with fatigue. So don't worry too much about it. You'll be fine. The only thing is cold. Right now, I'm cold. And when you're cold, you take 20% damage per hour. So it's good to not be cold. Let's eat, or rather drink this drink, so we don't take any thirst damage. And we can always make a fire just to warm up. If I was playing on a bit of the lower difficulties, I would have more health here, but it doesn't really matter. You can also make teas. Let's start a fire soon, just to...
I could probably climb that.
Just to do some stuff. First, we're going to climb up here. You just approach and climb. Sometimes there'll be ropes to climb, but if it's just like this, like a cliff face, you can just climb it by clicking on it. And then these rosehips you can harvest. You get 8 rosehips, but you need 24 to actually make a tea. But you might want to save them for later, because I think that's part of one of the side quests. You can make one though.
Just want to lay down for a bit.
Let's make them a bit later. Now though, you can pick up all the natural resources you see. When we come up to the plane crash, I'm going to start a fire just to warm up a little bit.
I think I'm gonna make it.
Yeah, you'll be fine. Gonna pick up all of these. You can use it to make teas, which will give you pain relief, which will give you warmth, will give you hydration, will give you calories. It does so much stuff. Up we go.
Could eat any. Finally made it.
Yeah, good job, Will. Okay, we got a lot of wood, so we can make a fire. Let's just run a little bit over here. There's the good old plane crash. And I think we'll make a little fire here just to warm up a little bit.
My plane. Not sure which of us looks worse.
There we go. We got our first achievement.
This isn't how things were supposed to end.
Search for Astrid. We're going to make a fire right here, just to warm up a little bit. And there's a trick you can use to start fires easier, which we'll get to soon. Right now we're going to use matches, because I don't have any other options, but I will show you what I mean in a minute. Because we don't have very much health, because this is the harder difficulties, so the health is a bit lower. But also, it's lost some health creating the bandage. You'll see me sometimes do non-optimal plays in these walkthroughs, because I'm doing it to illustrate how to do alternatives. So I won't necessarily play flawlessly, but that's deliberate. Let's put on some reclaimed wood and some sticks to get this warmth up. Okay. And let's pick up our parka.
I've been looking for you.
Nice and warm. And you put that on. Yeah, you could use the radio menu, but you can also just click C. And it's been auto-equipped. So story mode is a bit different, that it actually auto-equips for you. But normally you have to go in and actually put it on. But of course, if you get new items you want to replace it, you have to manually put it on. And in the status menu here, you can see it says warmth bonus is +4. That's basically the cumulative warmth of your clothing. So for example, this parka, it says down here, it gives you 1.2 degrees warmth. So that's what that does. And then this one gives 0.4, and then you add it all up. And the more warmth you have, the easier it is to survive the elements, basically. Okay. And here we have the backpack. Astrid.
I can always use more food.
You know what, maybe it's an Astrid, it might be yours. Mittens. The biotics. Put the mittens on, as you can see.
Astrid's pack.
There we go.
Locked. Whatever's in this case, Astrid was ready to die for it. I hope she hasn't already died for it.
I mean, to be fair, it's a 3-number combination. It doesn't take that long to just guess it, to be honest. If it's 4, it's different. Okay, before we continue, I just wanted to show that there is another way to start a fire if you're worried about running out of matches. You're not going to run out of matches, though, because you find them around, and you're not going to light that many fires. So I wouldn't worry too much about it. But nevertheless, what you can do is you can make torches. You can craft torches here by having oil, cloth, and sticks. But you can also approach a campfire, and there's a button that says take torch. Do that and you get a torch in hand. Torches are very powerful. So if you're new to this channel, you'll see me sometimes just pause the game randomly. That's usually because the baby woke up or something like that. I have 2 small children, so that might happen occasionally. Okay, so what I was explaining was you can take a torch, and you're not going to run out of matches. It's not on story mode. But what you can do is you can take a torch, and you can start a fire with the torch instead. If you do that and you fail, then you will not have used the matches. So if you start a fire with a match and you fail, then the match has been used and it's gone. But if you start a fire with a torch, the torch is still burning, you can just try again. So you don't lose any resources except for the actual tinder. So that's a little pro trick. If you do transition to survival mode, you need to remember that trick, because that's important. There are also skills, but those skills are not really here. We have this stuff instead. There's also some lore stuff about different things. You can read up on what they are, and we're not going to really be looking at that. And there's also a map, but we don't get that yet. Okay, when warming up, you can also make water, actually. You can put some water to boil, because you spawn with one of these cans. While that is boiling, we can look around. Anything here?
Snow if the hypothermia wouldn't kill me.
Nothing really around here, I don't think. There's a case. This is the case that we chose as optional gear, which is the distress pistol. You can pick up the shells as well. And we got a flare. A flare is basically a super torch. It is very strong. It can ward off animals, and most importantly, it's windproof. So if you need to start a fire in the wind, you can use this instead, for example. Or rather, not so much starting a fire, but if you need to have a fire in your hands, because wolves are afraid of fire. But if it's windy, you can't have a torch, but you can have a flare. The distress pistol we picked up is the only gun you're going to have this episode. There are, in episode 1, there's no weapons at all other than stones and that. You don't get any guns, really. But in episode 2 and the other episodes you do, but not in this one. In the earlier versions of this episode you did, but in this version I believe you don't. But you can choose this one. You gotta load it, of course. This is an emergency distress pistol, so you'd think it's for some sort of like, you know, signaling for help or something, but no. What this does is it scares away wildlife. So if you're in a situation where you're cornered by a wolf, you can shoot this and you can scare them away. It can actually kill animals too, including wolves if you hit them in the head. Even a bear can die from this, not the old bear. So it's a handy thing to have for some extra protection. Okay, so then we have the water. It's not boiled yet. What you can do, you can click on it and you will see at the bottom it says space, past time until ready. So you can just do that, fast forwards, and now it's boiled. You take that, take the can, and you can drink it in the radio menu. So let's drink that. And let's take a torch with us. Let's maybe take another torch as well. There we are. I wouldn't worry too much about being hungry, because you only really need to eat before you sleep, because if you have a full stomach, or not a full stomach, but if you have enough calories when you sleep, you will then regenerate health. But in the daytime when you're awake, it doesn't really matter. You can go for well fed, which I think does exist in the game, which is like...
definitely passed through here. And in a hurry.
Right, yeah. I think that's in here. Well fed is a condition where if you have a full stomach for 3 days, you get more health and more carry capacity. I'm not 100% sure if that's in story, but even if it is, you don't really need it, because one thing you have to remember about story mode is that things are limited. When the story ends, then everything you have did ends too. So there's no point hoarding things or keeping things, because why bother? The story will end, unlike survival mode. The only exception is episode 2 will carry over stuff you have from episode 1. So gear you have in episode 1 will go into episode 2. Other than that, each episode is a restart, so there's no point really keeping things or, you know, optimizing stuff. Okay, here's some rabbits. To kill a rabbit, which you don't really need to do, but if you wanted to, the way to do it is to throw some stones. So you got to pick up these stones. These are used to stun rabbits. Now, if you drop your torch, if you select this as a weapon and select the stone, the torch will drop, and you'll see all the rabbits got spooked because they got scared of you dropping the torch. So alternatively, if you want to avoid that, what you do is you go into your inventory and choose the torch. It's this one, and you drop it like this, and then they won't get spooked. Then you need to have a stone, and the way to aim with it is basically aim above your thumb. It's a little bit more complicated than that. It kind of veers to the left, but basically it throws in an arc kind of above your thumb. So kind of like this. See, that was a little bit off. The easiest way to do it is to go either right behind or right in front of the rabbit. Because if you do that, you're less likely to miss. And if you crouch, you drastically reduce the detection range of animals, and you can get really close. So you can do like this, for example. Here you should hit like this. Boom. And then you go up and you grab it. If it allowed me to... Sometimes that happens, like it won't let you grab the stupid thing. So now you gotta do it again. Sorry about that. So here, for example, this rabbit is sideways, so he's a bit hard to grab. You can go behind him though. You can also tab the crouch button, and then you kind of crouch faster without being detected. You go behind the rabbits, they're pretty much completely blind. Can't really see you, and they're pretty easy to get. And you'll see me miss now, of course. Boom, right in the bum. You go over, it says, oh, come on. It won't let me pick it up. I guess it's bugged a little bit. That's not fun. Okay, one more time. Let's try sheaving the stone, okay? Let's try that instead. Boom. Okay, rabbit. There we are. Okay. Alright, it didn't. You actually have a choice. You can choose to not kill the rabbit. You can release it. Let's see if I can grab this one. Great walk through this. Okay, let's see. Okay, see here. Now it tells you can release it if you want. But why did you catch it? So you grab it. Okay, sorry about that. Now what this is for is you can you get some more meat, but you also smell doing this, which is not great. There's also some cattails which you can grab. This will give you two things. It'll give you a stalk, which is food, and a head, which is tinder. So that's nice. Since you don't have weapons, I would recommend picking up some stones. Some more wood. Yeah, this is probably Astrid's. A lot of people complain about, like, well, why didn't Astrid find Will? I mean, Will is right there. But to be fair, like, the idea is she tried, but it was just too difficult. Get this guy too. It's more food. There's Astrid's thing. She obviously left this for Will to find. Let's also pick up these. These are for antiseptic bandages. But more importantly, you actually need these for a side quest later on. There are some side quests in this episode that will ask you to grab a bunch of stuff. So I'm just going to pick up all these plant supplies, basically for later use. Once we get to Milton, we can start a bunch of side quests and do them one at a time, pretty much. So here's a wolf. And we've also got different options. Also the main predators, the main opponents in the game. So the best thing to do here is avoid it, yeah. So you can just go around it and avoid it. That's one way. Another way is to shoot it in the face with this. A third way is to scare it away from the carcass. And you can actually do this with just a stone, unless they changed that in story mode, which I hope they didn't. But no, in survival mode, you can just approach the wolf and throw a stone at it, and it will go away. Let's see if that works here. Let's save it in case that doesn't work. Free stone, we'll call this. So you approach it, it will growl at you. And you can just aim at it like this, and it runs away. See? That's because it's feeding. Now you can take this carcass if you want. We don't really need to, but if you wanted to, you can drop your. You should drop your food because you will stink. You can start a fire. We don't have a torch, so let's light a torch. Getting a bit late, so we have to be a bit faster. You can start. We don't have to do this. It's just to illustrate. When you just one really important thing. I'll show it now while this is falling. You can scare a wolf really easy. Wolves are the main deterrent in this game, the main opponent. You know, there are other opponents too, but they are your main threat, really, other than the weather. And people are often scared of how to deal with it. And I'm going to show you it's ridiculously easy. All you need is a torch and a stone. I use a stone there because there's a mechanic where if a wolf is feeding, if you just aim at it with a stone, they'll run away. However, if they're not feeding, all you need is a torch and a stone, because you see they're afraid of the torch. And the thing is, if you aim at a wolf, if the wolf has seen you, then it will go for you. It will stalk you, and if it gets close, it will try and kill you. And then you got to just run away or hope you can hit it in the head with a stone, maybe. It'd be lucky. But if you have a torch, all you need to do is aim at the wolf with the stone and have the torch on you. And the wolf will run away. Hey, Wolfie. Yeah, I'm right here. Hey, come on. Select your stone. And aim. See? Off he goes. For a second, it looked like it was getting too close. You see, all you need... It looks a bit scary, because they get really close to you, and you're like, oh. But that's not what happens. Here it comes again. He's a bit confused. Oh, he's taking one of my rabbits. Damn it. He took one of my rabbits. He ate my rabbit. Okay. Well, you get the idea. Alright, so let's use this fire here to make some water. And here you can harvest a bunch of stuff. You can grab the meat, which will give you a bunch of food. Let's just do 1 kilo of it for the sake of it. And they don't have the harvesting mechanics there anymore. This is, yeah. You can then cook this. You can put the meat here on a slab. That will cook, takes an hour. Grab this wood. And there's also things like hides. You can pick up the hide and guts. Now, we're not going to do that because you don't need to do it. But if you wanted to, you could grab the hide and the guts. And if you do grab them, you can put them on the ground in any interior location. And they will start curing. And if you do that, when they're cured, you can make stuff. So you don't have it here, but it will unlock in the course of this episode that you can craft stuff, and you can use deer hides for that, or rabbit hides, or wolf hides, but I'm not sure that's unlocked here. So that's basically it. Now we could do it just because we need to wait an hour for this to cook. So we could grab it, but I think maybe the meat first, because that's more valuable. And we're going to drop it. You can drop it from your inventory, but you can also click 3. The only thing is, if you click 3, you technically actually plant the decoy, which is why the wolf ate my food. But yeah, let's grab this hide, seeing as we've got nothing better to do. And then we can keep going. So this takes a lot longer because I'm narrating everything. But you don't really need to do it like this. I'm just getting stuff done, basically. Oops. Did I? Yeah, no, I did, yeah. 46 minutes. In that case, you might as well grab a gut as well. Both guts, actually. And now we're getting into the night, but doesn't matter. As long as you have a torch, you'll be fine against the wolves. Okay. Okay, let's keep moving. We'll do the rabbits later. Remember to pick up your stuff. Grab another torch. Don't worry about your health. That will come right up back up when you heal. Okay, Wolfie is around somewhere, but I wouldn't worry about him. You do smell also when you pick up stuff. That mechanic isn't really visible here, but I think it might be disabled for now. But usually if you pick up raw meat and stuff, the wolves will smell you. Okay, here's some more Rosehips, so we can grab those too.
Looks like some kind of radio tower. That must be closer to civilization than I thought.
Yeah, the radio tower is fine with that. It's not far from Milton. So I just jumped down here, but you can also climb down. It doesn't really matter. Here's some more old man's lichen, which we can pick up, which will be useful for later. So let's pick that up. This will be handy for the quests. So you don't really need to do this, of course. This is only for the side quests, or if you want to have these. I'm picking everything up just to have more stuff. But you don't really need to do it, but I'm doing it. And there's also some cattails around here for some extra food if you want that. There's all sorts of things. In terms of your own food, in this particular episode, I wouldn't worry too much about it. I believe that Grey Mother has like a stew that she gives you. Okay. Let's pick up some more Rosehips. I'm not going to pick up every cattail I see. That's not a big deal. But the Rosehips I will pick up. Same with mushrooms. I'll pick up all the mushrooms I see. And I'm also going to pick up these lichens. These plants are pretty much all over the place. So I wouldn't worry too much about it. Let's pick up these. There's more food. There's more rabbits, as you can see. If I wanted some more rabbits, I could grab those. You're not really in a hurry to do anything. It's pretty, you know, there's no time limit or anything like that. Okay. When your torch is about to run out, you could just throw the torch by right-clicking. Then you select another torch from your radial menu, which is up here, light sources. Choose the torch. And you approach it, and you can light it by clicking on the other torch. And now you still haven't used the match. Isn't that neat? Okay. Over here, the radio tower is to the right. To the left, there is a cave. We will come back to this cave later, because there's a side quest through that cave. But now we're going to go up here. We can sprint to go there faster. Sprinting makes you tired faster and uses more calories as well. There we are. And there's a lookout here. We can see the town of Milton.
Whoa. Someone's just sitting here. Frozen. What the hell?
And here.
A town. Maybe I can find help there.
This is the town. This is Milton. Lots of stuff to loot. We're not going to do everything though. Okay. Search the corpse. Painkillers. Alright. So now we're going to transcend down here. Transcend, descend. You know what I'm saying. We're going to head down here. And some more Rosehips. You can click climb and you go down. The torch dies, but it comes back up. Like you're just carrying it, you just can't see it. That wasn't always the case. There it comes, see? And we're basically going to Grey Mother's house, which is this big one right in front of us. You can see the smoke from the chimney. It's basically the only inhabitable house at the moment. Well, it's the only person that has a survivor there. In survival mode of this game, you are alone, except for one person on the radio. But in story mode, you meet a lot of NPCs.
Look, smoke from that chimney. That means someone's home.
Yeah, let's not go there. Yeah. So we're going to go there, investigate this house. If you want to make sure you're on track, click J to see what we're doing. Yeah, we're on track. And
Anyone out there?
we got an achievement. Make your way to Milton. It's called Paradise Lost. That's because of Milton, who wrote the book Paradise Lost. And you can check this out. There we got a convict.
What happened here?
That's a whole story thing. We got a hatchet. Good stuff. Good against wolves and also for chopping things. Cowboy matches are just worse matches, but they're still matches. And leather. And sticks. Sticks can be used to give her blood.
This whole area looks like it's been abandoned for a while.
Now we're going to meet Grey Mother, so there'll be some more dialogue now. So I'll probably be quiet for a little bit while we go through everything she has to say. And we're going to do all of her dialogues so you get the extended story for those interested in that, even though there's only really the main story that's relevant for the playthrough. But we're going to do that, so I'll get back to you when she's done talking.
Hello? Anybody here? Hey. Hey, wake up. Holy shit! Wait! Hold your fire!
Get back.
Okay. Just take it easy.
Why are you here?
I saw the smoke from your chimney.
Outsider.
What?
Thought so. Mainlander. Outsider. I don't recognize your voice. And you haven't left like the others. So, must be a mainlander. Someone who doesn't know any better.
My plane, I crashed in the mountains nearby. I'm looking for someone who crashed with me. A friend. She might be injured.
I haven't seen her.
Listen, could you maybe point that gun someplace else?
You think because my eyes are covered, I can't see you? Make the wrong move, say the wrong thing. You'll see how good a shot I am.
I don't doubt it.
The others are all gone. If you're here, things must be worse than they thought.
Alright, I'm going to go through all these dialogue options. The blue one is the only one we really need. That triggers the main story and the main quest. But we're still going to exhaust these for the sake of extended dialogue and lore. I will put a timestamp though, so you can skip ahead if you don't want to see all this stuff. Okay, let's continue.
Where are we?
Milton, a forgotten town deep in the mountains. You're far from home.
But where are we on Great Bear? My plane came down in a storm, and my compass was acting funny.
I've lived here all my life. Not much use for the outside world. Milton's the last of the old mountain towns. Now, it's almost impossible to get to. Or get out of. Only people left here are either too poor or too proud to leave.
Which are you?
I have what I need. At least I did, before the bad man came. Now I'm not sure I have enough to get through the winter.
I need to find my friend, but I'll do what I can to help.
My mind is fuzzy. Some things come through so sharp, others like a dream. Let me think. Let me rest. Maybe I can pull some memories out of the fog. Maybe I can find something that could help you find your friend.
The town seems so quiet. Does anyone still live here?
Not many. After the earthquakes, less. After last night, even fewer.
Where did everyone go?
That I cannot say. All I know is that I heard screams and could smell smoke for most of the night.
You mentioned smelling smoke?
Someone came here. One of the townsfolk. Tried to convince me to leave. They said there were houses burning in the town. They said people were scared and were leaving for the coast. On foot. Foolish plan. But that's what they said to do. After the quakes. If there was ever another emergency, go to the coast and help will come. They wanted me to go with them. But I'm not ready to leave Milton.
They left you here? Alone?
I'm not alone. I have my Lily.
Lily?
Never mind.
Name's Mackenzie, by the way. And you are?
I had a name once. But for years, the townsfolk have called me Grey Mother. A name takes on its own life. Such that at one point, the name becomes the thing it belongs to. Then the old names fade. Can only be remembered by the young and the true.
So, I should call you...
You should call me Grey Mother also.
Sitting here with a rifle in your hand. You expecting trouble?
Trouble. Trouble found me.
You mean the storm?
The bad men. The bad men came. Took my things. Tried to take my house. They thought they were safe. Because Grey Mother can't see. They were wrong.
Who are the bad men?
The men, they passed through town. The night of the storm. The night of the lights.
I'm looking for my friend. She crashed with me when my plane came down in the mountains. Do you think she could have come through and been caught by these bad men?
I can't say for sure. Is your friend a survivor?
Yes. She is.
Then there is always hope.
The bad men. Did they try to hurt you?
Everyone thinks being old means you're weak. But they underestimated Grey Mother.
It seems they did. Okay. Well, any idea how I can get out of this town? I need to find help.
The old quake closed down most of the roads in and out of town. That was years ago. Blizzard just swept through town after the power went out. As for help, you won't find any out there. You're on your own. We both are.
I crashed without much food or gear myself. And if these bad men cleaned you out, we're gonna need to find some food and fuel, or neither of us is gonna make it through the next few days. You have any idea where we could find some supplies?
The bad men took everything. And the others in town who would have helped me are gone. The ones left will have their own worries. It's up to you, outsider.
I'll do what I can, but I'll need your help. There must be somewhere in town to get food, fuel, the essentials.
What about your friend? Are you in a hurry to find her?
Yes, I am. And I'll be looking for signs of her. But there's a lot of ground to cover, and without gear, I won't make it. So while I'm looking for supplies, you see what you can remember about the Night of the Lights, and if she might have passed through town. That way, maybe we can help each other.
Okay, outsider. Grandmother can't promise she can unlock the secrets in the dark cupboards of her mind. But she'll try.
Alright, we have now started chapter 3, and we're on our way for the main quest. But we will also do the additional dialogue, so bear with.
You keep calling me a mainlander. Why?
It's what you are, isn't it? From the mainland, an outsider. You don't really belong here, do you?
Okay, but you sound bitter about it.
We lost everything in the collapse. People didn't realize how dependent we'd become. Some were fine with it. Others didn't want the scraps from your table. Created deep rifts in families, communities, scars that never healed. The mainland had become our lifeline, and it was suddenly cut. And so, we suffered.
I guess I don't know much about that history.
I'm not surprised. You mainlanders have always been focused on your own story. Only interested in Great Bear when it had something to give you. If you can't cut it down or dig it out of the ground, what use is it to you?
The power seems out all over town.
The power's always been spotty here, since the quakes. No money to fix the broken stuff left behind. And nobody from the mainland seemed to care enough to do anything about it.
I'm sure someone will come and fix it.
Nobody's coming to save Milton.
How can you be so sure?
I've learned to hear the difference between something quiet and something abandoned. This goes deeper than just a stillness. It feels like the moments before the world goes to sleep. We're just the last ones left awake to notice it.
What really happened here? Seems like people were here recently. Where did they go? Why didn't they call for help or just drive out?
The power went out. Who knows the reason? People started to get cold, hungry. They panicked, started to talk crazy. Others walked here from the highway. Some belonged here. Others were outsiders, like you.
Did anyone see a woman? Brown hair, would have had a tan jacket, a scarf with birds on it. Possibly injured.
There was an outsider woman. I heard her pass through. She wasn't alone. There were angry voices and... But the storm was too loud.
Voices?
I lost the voices and I couldn't get them back.
Before, you mentioned hearing voices. Do you remember what you heard?
Memories are gray, misty. I'm trying to remember. It was windy. The blizzard was already waking up. But I heard yelling. A scream.
Was it a woman's voice?
I'm not sure. The voices were thin, far. The blizzard was waking up. Soon there was only wind and darkness. I don't know. I don't remember. It's all cloudy now.
There we are, that's all the dialogue finished. Notice that the optional dialogue about voices and all that stuff suggests you may have heard Astrid come through town, but that's not revealed if you skip that. So there's some details to be found there. Mostly it's just extended lore. This collapse she's talking about is not the flare that we saw in the plane. That's something that happened before. This whole effect about the Aurora is something we'll come back to. The Aurora is a special mechanic in the Long Dark, but it's primarily used in episode 2 onwards, not so much here. Alright, let's finish up with Grey Mother. Yeah. So, we now have a map as well, and it's to find supplies. So we actually need to get quite a lot of stuff here. We need to fill firewood, and we need food in her fridge. And this is completed stuff, and we have side missions we'll trigger soon. Check the gas station for more supplies. That's what. Yeah, you should be able to complete this with just stuff you find. There's quite a lot of food to find, but you can also hunt, especially rabbits, if you need to. We now have a map. You can click M to get the map up, and you can see the entire world pretty much. So this is where you are, Grey Mother's house. Down here is the gas station. Here's the radio tower where we came from, and the plane crash is over here. In story mode, this is the church. There's a farm down here. Well, there's some other things too. In story mode, uniquely, the map will actually show you where you are with a arrow. So if you do get lost, just pop up on the map and have a look. If you play survival mode later, if you try that out, just be prepared that that is not the case in survival mode. You have to actually craft your map with charcoal, and it won't tell you where you are. But that's a story for another time. Okay, now a few things here. We can cook here if we want to, yeah. That's fine. What I want to do is I want to light this torch. Oh, doesn't seem like I can do that. I'll just use a match in that case. Use one of the bad matches. Just so I can see a bit better. Okay, so if you click tab, you also get this stuff up. We can loot stuff here a little bit, but mostly this is our house. What we need to do is go in here. We got some water.
I want to run out of water.
Got some food.
Just out of this stuff.
Well, of course, what we want to do with this food is to help her out. We got a cooking pot. I would recommend having at least one of these, if not two. It's because you can make more water that way. You can't loot these cabinets because they're hers. And this is the fridge. So she wants fridge stuff. So if I put in the venison I cooked, put that in there. It gives kilos, not calories. But here I can see 1.6. That's because these give about 900 each. You can also put in the sardines. You can put in most of this stuff. You're already quite a way there. Now there is a couple things to pick up around here. If we go up, there should be a note, a book that is somewhere here. Here we are. Take the sewing kit, and this book is this is usually a research book in survival mode, but here it triggers a quest. Pick this up, and it should give you a quest. Repair clothing items. Okay, so it tells you to repair 3 clothing items. That's basically it. There's 3 of these survival school things to do. You can look around, and if you would need the cloth, you can harvest the curtains, but again, not so much in her house. And you can look around here some more, but again, it won't really let you do much in here. It's just, you know, because it's her house. Later, though, you can. So you can come back here. Okay. You might want to sleep, but we can wait a little bit with that. Maybe we should sleep a little bit. Borrow her bed. So, we can also house the rabbits, actually. Maybe do that first. You can get some food. Sleep. Doesn't really matter what time of day it is. So let's harvest some rabbits. And also, what you can do, remember the stuff we got earlier? The dayhide, to cure it, it says can be used for crafting if you cure it. How do you cure it? They don't actually tell you how to cure it. You'd think you need some sort of curing rack, but no, you just drop on the floor. Now we'll say 1% cured. So literally just drop it on the floor in an interior space. Same with the guts. The guts, when they are cured, you can use them for crafting. Again, on the floor. That's how it goes. There it is. And yeah, so then we might as well harvest these rabbits. All of it. We don't really need to. We don't really need the guts. We don't really need any of it. Except for the food. But we can do it just to have it. See, we're going low on health here, but that's just because we're hungry. But we can sleep and you'll recover pretty much all of this. So again, we can drop the hides here. We can drop some guts here. Now they are curing for future use. Okay, and we can cook here. Cook this stuff. If you want to cook it faster, then you can instead put the cooking pot and put it in there. It will cook a little bit faster. There you go. I don't think you can put raw meat in her freezer. I don't think. Let's just see if I put this in there. 2725772. Oh, you can. Okay, so you can actually put raw meat in there. But usually if you cook it, the calorie goes up a little bit. So maybe just do that. And we have some stuff we can craft, but I'm going to wait to do that. You'll see why later. Okay, so 5 minutes already. Grab that. Cook the next one. Grab that. And this as well. Now, when your health gets too low, it turns red and a different sound is played. So that means you're redlining and now you start losing balance. That will all be fixed by the sleeping. We're going to go upstairs. You can navigate pretty well in the dark, to be fair. Here's the bed. Let's eat some stuff. We can eat the cattails. I put a bunch of food in her fridge, but I could have just eaten it. Don't worry about having a full stomach. Just have enough to sleep. I'm going to eat these cattails. Just to have something. And then we'll sleep and we'll recover a bit of health. Okay. So let's also drink some water. And have a little sleep. We'll sleep a little bit into the day, but that doesn't matter. So we'll put 10 hours, but basically we have 9 hours. You'll see your health go up. There you go, see? Now we're almost full health. It's about midday, and we're looking great. We have some more water to fill up the first meter. And there you go. See, that was no problem at all. Wasn't that nice?
Never been so hungry in my
Alright,
life.
let's head out. But before we do, let's just save the game. The weather sounds a bit terrible out there. We can actually eat maybe one of these. I think I'll put the rest in a fridge. Go. And let's check outside. It's alright. So what we're going to do now is the Orca Station is actually down there. You can actually kind of see it. It's right at the end of the road on the map. We are here and we want to get down there. Now we're actually going to take a moment and collect quite a few side quests here. There's quite a few of them around. So there's 4 side quests. One is like a singular one, but the other ones are multiple things like caches and stuff. Let's collect one of them, which is over here by the schoolhouse. The wolf. I think the wolf is going for a rabbit. Yeah. Because it wasn't me. Right over there, I think. This wolf is busy eating. Let's pick up these mushrooms, because we'll need them for our later quest. We can scare away this wolf, or we can just keep him busy eating. Okay. Over here is the schoolhouse. We should have a note. Which starts one of the supply caches.
Terrible.
Yeah. Glasses you can't interact with. think it's has some coal. That's a good fire supply. Keeps you very warm. Anything else? I don't think so. And here there is a note, see? By the chimney itself. Pick that up. Medicine in my backyard. Take that. You can read it if you want. You don't really need to, but you just pick it up, take it, and now you have a side quest, which is to find the supply cache behind a home in Milton. It does actually say where it is roughly, so easy enough to find. Yeah, so that's one of them. So that's one of those things. Then we're gonna head into the post office to get a couple other things. So quite a few houses you can go into. Not all of them will have stuff relevant for the main quest or even side quests, but you can find food, of course. You won't find weapons though. Yeah. To my left is the bank. Where we want to go is the post office here. We should start another one of these side quests. We'll come back here because the story will take us to these places. Alright, so around here, you can also look around the floor in case of anything. You got some gloves. You got soda. And here is a note as well. And you can read it if you want. Take that. And random stick. And here is this book that I was talking about.
I could use
Socks,
this.
very nice. Socks got equipped. 5 gloves are worse, so I'm just going to drop them. There's the book. This will now start the other basic survival one. There you go. Which is to make some teas, basically. And we can kind of do these next time we cook. It's pretty easy. We already have picked up enough. In fact, I need to make 3 Reishi teas, 3 beer dressings, and 3 teas for Rosehip. So if I go here, my crafting, you see on the medicine here, I have enough to make 2 of these, but I was 3, so I need 2 more of these. So I need 9. Here I can make 2 teas, so I need 2 more of these. And this here I have enough to make 3, and then I have to just cook them. So I could do these 3 now, for example, like this. And now these are prepared and ready to be cooked, and when I make a tea, that will be completed. Okay, so that's one thing. Okay. Then there's another one. There's a truck. I don't think it's this one. I think it's a car over there. But I'm just going to have a look in here too. Might as well check some of these cars. You can check devices, but there's not really anything in devices. Not really. In survival mode there is, but not here. Let's just check these cars. I think it's that grey car over there has a note in it. But I'm just going to check here anyway. You need a pry bar for that. Check in here quickly. Anything here? Good trick to remember which car you looted is to open the hood. But of course I haven't actually looted it properly because of this. See? Okay. Then there's one more thing in here. There is a deposit box, I believe. We're gonna wait a little bit to do this. I think we'll grab all the keys at the same time later. So there's a side quest for the safe deposit boxes. We'll do those later. Okay, I think this one has something. So here we are. It has a hidden cash note. Got a vehicle. You can take that. That starts another one. This is the church one. Okay. And there's so that's 2 of the supply caches. And the first cache we found is actually behind, I think it's here, this building here, right there. So the first one we picked up is right here.
Found it.
Got a stim. So that's done. Let's pick up some more of these. I don't really need more Rosehips, but I do need more mushrooms. So you can do that. This cabin up here will have another supply note. There you go. There we go. And here we are. This is a little place. And Garth. And here is another cache now. See?
Well.
We'll trigger that.
What do we have here?
There we go. So now we have all 3 hidden supply caches. We already picked up one. Another one is here. This is the cave that we passed earlier. Another one is up by the church. We'll do that one a bit later. So now we have all 3. That's the one, the side quests you can do. You got to find all 3. Then there are the survival lessons. Here. The survival lessons, of which there are 3. We're missing a 3rd one, which is down by the farm, which we could just go and get right now and come back to the Orca Station just so we can all do this in one go. Let's go and do that. So we're going to exit this. I'm not doing things completely linear here. I'm just kind of doing it in segments. Let's grab these while we're at it. I'm going to come back to the farm later in the story, but for now let's just go down here. And there's also the bank deposit keys, but we're going to do the deposit keys later. So there's a side quest to find all 4 deposit keys. We're going to do them later because the story will lead us to pick one of them up. And when we do that, we can pick the other 3 up at the same time. So that they're all grouped together in the walkthrough. We're supposed to go to the Orca Station, and we are supposed to go to this farm later. But I'm just going to go down here right now just to get this last side quest. So we're going to go down here and get this last book, which is on this workbench. So here, this is a Paradise Meadows farm. Oh, wolf. So here's a bunch of wolves, and if you need to get rid of them, that one fled by chance. There's a small chance, I think it's like 5% or 10%, that it just flee. If not, you can light a torch, and if it's too windy, you light a flare. We might as well light a flare. We're going to come back here, but I'm just going to pick this book up now, just to get that side quest started. Okay, that's basically what I want to do. Okay, so in here there is a little barn. Over there is Paradise Meadows Farm. We're going to go there later in the story, but not right now. We're just going to go into this little barn here, which has... oh, hello there. He's busy. I'm going to ignore him for the moment. We got some wood here. And here is the field dressing guide, which starts the last quest, which is to snare a rabbit. Pick up this snare.
What have we here?
There's also a drawer too. We can also check these drawers. We won't need the hatches because we already have one. Killed gut, how nice. Good leather, sure. We're going to leave that wolf to its business and come back for that. But now we have that. We have everything we need for the all the side quests. The only thing missing are the safe deposit keys, which we will do later. But now we have collected all 3 books. Do the survival lesson side quests. You need to do all 3 to finish it. And we also have all 3 supply caches, and we have picked one of them up. And we also need to do deposit keys. We'll do those when the story takes us to find it, because there's 4 safety deposit keys to open up in the bank. And the thing is that one of them is found through the story, so we might as well get the other 3 at that point. Just keep a distance on the wolves. If not, use this thing or use a flare. There's also another thing, which is a 4th side quest called Highway Robbery, which is a note you find in the Orca Station. So we're going to go there and start that one as well. But before we do, I'm actually going to go back to Grandmother's house now that we picked up all these things. And we're going to unload some of the stuff we're carrying, like a bunch of wood and that sort of thing. And then head back to Orca Station for that. So now we've done a little bit collecting round. The good thing about episode 1 and Milton is that pretty much all of the side quests start right here in Milton or close to it. Like if it's not in Milton, it's in the farm or it's in Orca Station. So they're really easy to pick up all at the same time, while some of the other episodes are here and there. So there's that, you know. And there's a ton of houses to explore. We don't really need to explore them, but if you need more food or more resources, you can go into them. There's lots of them. And you will find some more food and resources in there that makes survival easier for you. For now though, what we're going to do, we're going to go back to Grandmother's house, unload some of the stuff we're carrying, so we're not carrying so much stuff, because inventory wise, we're not that heavy, but we do carry a bunch of stuff we don't really need. Then we're going to head to Orca Station and sort that out. There's some Old Man's Beard. I think I have 8. I need 9, so let's pick up 1 more of those. You'll find them all over the place. All these things like the like rabbits, Old Man's Beard, lichen, Rosehip teas, Reishi teas, all that stuff you find all over the place. So don't worry about it. You're not gonna struggle. Just look around anywhere and you'll find it. Okay. Let's go in here. And we also have this supply cache for firewood. We can put stuff in. We can put in our reclaimed wood, for example. And now we have some there. It's just weighed in terms of weight, I guess. I'm not sure how they weigh it. Put in this as well. And now we are almost halfway there. We put in some coal. How much does 1 coal give? Quite a lot. So let's give her all the coal. Yeah, almost done, actually. We can give her some sticks too. Actually, I don't think it sticks too much. This is getting close to done already. Go inside. And I found a cured gut, which I'm just going to put down here with the other guts. And I'm carrying some stuff I don't really need. Also got some torches that are really bad. I can harvest a torch for an extra stick. We're warming up as well, so it's one less thing to worry about. But we're going to sleep in the gas station, so I'm not worried about the time of day. As you can see, we healed a lot when we rested, even though this is the hardest difficulty. Okay, I don't need this recycled can because I'm carrying around these pots. They're heavier, but you can make a lot more water and cook faster, so I'm going to take those. If you do want stuff though, you can just do that. Okay, so is there anything else in ditch? Let's just see if there's something I can ditch. I don't really need to carry the secured leather around or anything like that, but it's fine. Yeah, antiseptic, I guess we can carry it for the moment. These stims are for, if you pop one of these, you instantly heal 15% and you can sprint non-stop for about 1 minute. And then you become fatigued, completely drained. But it's very good in an emergency situation. Painkillers heal pain, that's all they do, but nearly everything that cures pain also you can cure with time. Antibiotics will help if you get food poisoning and that sort of thing. Antiseptic is to cure the wound if you get bitten by a wolf. You can cure the wound that way. Or you can apply the Old Man's Beard. Yeah, that's pretty much it, I guess. So I think we more or less sorted this stuff out. Let's just continue. Alright, so now what we do is do the side missions that we can anyway. So we have 3 side missions in the basic survival one, which I think we can do at the same time. We gotta place a snare to catch a rabbit. We gotta do some nature medicine stuff and repair some clothing items. These are all pretty easy. The rabbit one is a little bit RNG, so let's do that one first. So to do that, we have to make a snare. Now, we have one that we picked up, but you can also make one. Here, it requires a workbench and reclaimed wood and cured gut. Workbench is down by the farm where I picked that book up. We also found a cured gut. So what we could do is, if in case we need another one, we can just carry this around and go in here. And also take this, one of the reclaimed woods out of her bin, just to have the option to craft one. Now there's rabbits all over the place. Like we saw a wolf kill one just over there. That's one place to do it. Another one is over by the lake where we saw some rabbits earlier. You can also go up back to the lake by the radio tower there where we spawned, close to where we spawned. It's down by the farm where we just at. They're all over the place really. You just need to put this snare somewhere where the rabbits roam. You don't have to stay and watch the rabbits get snared. In fact, it doesn't even work like that. Like if you put the snare down and you see a rabbit go through it, nothing actually happens. And nothing comes of it at all. you have to actually... the game just basically does a check, is what it does. At some point to see if a rabbit is caught. You can walk through the actual snare and it does nothing. It's picking up this stuff here. So up here on this hill there's some rabbits. This is close enough and there's more than one. So we'll just put it here. Here's a bunch of rabbits, so here's a good place. We'll put him here, for example. Right here. And just wait, really. You don't even have to pick up the rabbit. Okay, now let's go back to grandmother's house for a moment and do the other things. So the other stuff that you can do is pretty simple to do. Just gonna head back to grandmother's house. It's called Milton House, a townhouse or something, but I just call it grandmother's house. I mean, that's what it is. Okay. So we're going to do the rest here, and then we'll sleep through the night. And then hopefully a rabbit can be caught while we're doing this stuff, and we can do all three. So, first things first. Here we are. Let's do the easiest one first. Repair 3 clothing items. And that can be the same clothing item 3 times. So we have the sewing kit, which we picked up when we got the quest. And we have 6 pieces of cloth. If you want more cloth, very easy to get. Go into any building and pick up curtains. Here we can't do that because this is her house and she's right there. But in all the other houses, you can just go in and just grab a curtain and it'll give you cloth. It's very easy to find cloth in this game. Well, at least in this region, rather. So, you can repair here in the clothing tab, or you can click on this tab. But here you have to manually click on each one to see how good a condition they are. But if you go on the inventory instead, the backpack, you can just see here it's filtered by condition. So for example, his pants are in pretty poor condition, so maybe you should repair those. They will tell you got 95% chance of success, it repairs 33%, 25 minutes, so let's repair that. You can only repair when it's light, so if it gets nighttime you can't repair unless you're by a fire, which of course we are now because we got grandmother's fire. Let's repair again. And that's brand new. Now we've done it 2 times. And let's repair one more. For example, his sweater or maybe the thermals. It looks like the sweater is pretty poor actually, but the thermal is pretty good, so let's repair that. And there we go. And now this should be completed. There we go. That's it. That's those 3 done. That was pretty easy. Now the next one is the teas and that. So we need to make 3 Reishi teas, 3 Rosehip teas, and 3 Old Man's Beard wound dressing. So to do that you have to pick up the plants, which we've already done. We have a bunch of them. Yeah, so we got a bunch of mushrooms, tons of Rosehips. And we already prepared some Rosehips earlier. So we got here 3 Rosehips right there. We need to prepare the mushrooms. Go on the crafting menu. And here it says prepared Reishi. It says Reishi, but I believe it's pronounced Reishi. Doesn't matter. They're mushrooms. Need 3 of these. So craft 3, and now your character starts preparing them. You know, if you don't have a knife, they still do it. It's just game mechanics. Okay, now, we don't have that much water, and actually I made a mistake there. I should have really have made this water I need for the teas while I was doing the preparation, because then the water can boil while I'm doing everything else. Let's also drink a little bit, not be dehydrated too much. Okay, but what we can do is we can make the dressings. So again, we go to crafting and we have Old Man's Beard dressing. That takes 45 minutes. Let's make those 3. But then that's pretty much boiled. 10 minutes. And in fact, one thing we do, we have this tomato soup. Now you can put that in these pots and boil it, or put it on the slot. But actually you can also put it next to the fire and that'll warm up too. That will work for canned food that can be heated up, as well as teas and coffee. You can just put it next to it. And if you're worried about it burning, you can actually just right click it and release the right click. It changes the timer, but if you do that, the food will never burn. Don't ask me why, that's just how that works. Okay, so 4 minutes is past time. Now we have 2 liters of water, which should be sufficient. Because making a tea, you have to click on the pot and cook. says here, it requires, it doesn't actually say, but it requires a little bit of water. I think it's 0.25 liters or something like that. So let's make the teas. So we make 2 mushrooms first. If you want to, I believe you can actually light this stove that's over here. It's a bit hard to see. Is it here? Yeah, let's light this torch. No, it doesn't actually allow me to do it. Yeah, tell you what, just for demonstrations purposes. Yeah, this stove here. I think you can light it, yeah. If you light this stove, you get 6 slots. So here you can make all 6 teas at the same time, provided you have 6 containers. And this is a very powerful device, but it only really matters in survival mode. In story mode, there's not many cases where you need to cook 6 things at a time. That's not really a thing. Okay, don't use matches to light things, by the way, as a light source, unless you have to. It's a waste of matches. Okay, this is almost ready, so once that's done, pick those up, and then we cook the next tea and the next rosehip one. And while that's waiting, we got some extra mushrooms and stuff. We could craft those just to have some extra teas, which is also food. Pick those up, and now if we do the last 2 rosehip teas, we have done the entire quest. So while we do that, we can prepare another rosehip tea, for example. And when this is done, the quest should trigger. There you go. Fantastic. You can also, how much water you have? Not that much, so let's make another liter of water here for each. And let's check to see if the rabbit's nest has triggered. If it has, I think it should just come up that it's been caught, the rabbit I mean. So it hasn't happened yet, it seems, because I think it would trigger. Regardless, we can check again in the morning when it's lighter. While we wait for this to finish, we could always repair some more clothes. For example, the jumper. Now, what the teas actually do, the Reishi teas, the mushroom teas, that's the same as antibiotics. So if you want, you can ditch one or the other. But the teas also, in addition, give you calories. And if you drink them hot, they warm you up. So if I drink one now, for example, it'll give me this warming up effect. What that does is it regenerates some of your warmth. So if you're cold, it warms you up a little bit. But primarily what the actual effect does is it slows down the cold decay. So if you're outside and it's cold, your warmth meter will slowly drain until you get very cold and you have hypothermia risk. But if you have this warming up effect, that decay is halved, so you get cold slower. It's basically what that does. And that can happen with any hot food. But this is antibiotics, and this rosehip is painkillers. That's what that is. And the old man's wound dressing is the same as the antiseptic. So if you want to save some weight or space, you can just drop this and not carry it around, because it achieves the same thing. You get to keep the stuff that you crafted anyway. So you don't have any torches, but that's right. Okay, we can actually make another rosehip tea here. Why not? Okay, so that's done. Now we have some water. Pick this up and let's go upstairs and have a little sleep. I'm just navigating the dark in the windows here, but you can also just use a match or a torch, I mean, whatever. Let's eat something so we don't die. We can eat the soup. We can maybe drink these drinks. And I think this might be enough. Maybe we can have one more. Now, unique in story mode compared to survival is that you can sleep as long as you want. In survival mode, if you choose to sleep, you'll wake up when you are rested. But generally anyway. But here, that doesn't matter. So here it's almost midnight. We want to sleep until it's light. At least, let's put maybe 9 hours. Maybe put 10 hours. 10 hours to sleep. There we are. And we're fully healed as well. Now, it sounds like there's a storm out there, which it is.
I'm gonna need to eat.
But it's not a blizzard per se. You should be able to actually see something. So, see, we can actually see. It's just that the weather's terrible. I think what we can do now is we can progress the main story. So it is just to go to the Orca Station. That's pretty much what it is. So, I mean, we don't have to, but that's what we should do. Just to get some stuff. And like I said, the supply cache, we'll do it a bit later. And there's also the bank deposit keys. We'll do that a bit later too. We can check our snare, but it should make a difference. As long as a rabbit is caught, that's what triggers it. We can also pick up some sticks along the way, just to get some more wood for Grey Mother. I'm not doing this walkthrough the fastest way possible. I'm trying to do the most thorough way possible. That's what that is. You can see the snare hasn't caught anything. Also, it's a storm, so the animals are not out. So when there's a blizzard, there's no animals out. Unless they were already out when the storm started. Now this is a blizzard, but in story mode, the blizzards are a bit lighter. You can actually see through them, but that will change in the later episodes since there'll be blizzard and you can't see anything. It's only really this one, I think. Maybe episode 2 also has like this. So I thought now is a good time to go to Orca Station and advance the story. And with a few things that this achieves. We're not going to pick up there's a bank deposit key here, which we're not going to pick up. We'll do that later. But we will initiate another quest here. And there should be a ton of food here as well, so we really nothing to worry about. Now the Orca Station is here. It's closed, so we can't open it. But we need a pry bar, which is to be found here and there. I think there's one in here. Flare shell. Gold as well. Or in a car. Might be in the car.
Die if I don't warm up.
It is somewhere. Might as well check the car while we're here. I think. There should be a pry bar here somewhere. Oh, never mind. I guess that's in survival mode. I was sure that there was a pry bar somewhere, but I guess not. Anyway, here we are introduced to another character called Methuselah. And he is a mysterious character. He's a bit of a... We're not even sure if he's real, or if he's a manifestation of nature, or if he's a stream around Alfor. He's kind of a mysterious type. As before, I'm going to initiate a dialogue with him, and I'll do all the options. So just bear with. We're going to speak to him, and then we'll continue with the looting and the mechanics and story. Okay, so let's just talk to him and go from there.
Well, another stranger. Have you escaped the town?
Escape the town? No, I just arrived.
Not a refugee from the highways, then. You look weary, traveler. Come, warm yourself by the fire.
Who are you?
I'm nobody. But you can call me Methuselah. I'm here to witness the passing of an age.
What do you mean, the passing?
Don't you see the signs?
You seem oddly familiar, old man.
Is that right?
Yeah. And this whole place feels strange and empty.
The quakes changed everything here years ago. Great Bear's back was broken, and it's been laid low ever since.
Then what are you still doing here?
Aren't we here to witness an apocalypse of an apocalypse, you and I? No one thought the world would end this way, but how could they not have seen it?
It's probably just the storm. Power failure. I'm sure everything will be back to normal in a few days.
I'm not sure anything will ever be back to normal.
I'm looking for my friend. She was with me when my plane crashed. But it looks like she must have made it out alive. Have you seen anyone pass by here?
Many people have passed. All have gone into the town. I haven't seen any come back.
What is this town? I don't recall seeing it on any maps.
This is Milton. Paradise Lost. It's a town of the old world, discarded, left behind. You won't find much hope.
I need to find my friend.
I'm not sure you'll find any friends here.
Any idea why all the cars are stalled and left behind?
They all stopped running. People abandoned them. Nothing but metal coffins now.
You always this cheerful?
My heart weeps for you, stranger. My days are nearly finished. But you'll have to live with what remains. Go safely, and good luck to you. I hope you find what you're looking for.
Alright, there we are. We got Methuselah. We will see him again. And he's an interesting character. Okay, so we're gonna there's an item here that will trigger a quest, but for now we're just gonna do the looting, get all the food we can. We got Storm Lantern here, which is fantastic. What's great about that, you can use that as a light source without having to use your matches and that sort of thing now. Okay, well, let's look around. There's all sorts of food hidden around. Check the microwave. There's cans of peaches. Here is some salt crackers. They give a lot of calories and they weigh nothing, so they're fantastic. There is stuff on the floor. Beef jerky, beef jerky, beef jerky. There's a bunch of stuff. Sodas. Check the fridges too. All the fridges. You can open them, but you should be able to see if there's one there. And coffee machines and stuff don't have much. There's coffee. These won't give any calories, but if you need extra, you can make the coffees and then put that in the fridge of the Grey Mother. That will count. Okay, then we have more sardines, peaches, dog food, lots of dog food. And then we got some more matches. Lantern fuel. Granola bars, and then there should be some more stuff back here. I think we got energy drink. This one is similar to the emergency system, but instead what it does is that it basically refills your sprint meter. So if you run out of sprint and drink this, it refills it, and also increases your fatigue for a little bit. But once it expires, it goes back down and gives you a headache. But it's like an additional boost if you need one. It could be good for climbing, for example. Anything else? I don't think so. We can take the cash register. Orca Gas Station store notice. No, I was actually going to read it, but I don't read it, but anyway. Then there's the back rooms. Let's go to the bathroom first. We could take the toilet water. You can take toilet water if I didn't mention that already. You just pick it up, and it's perfectly drinkable. Nothing to it, really. And then here there's a container. Ragged socks, I don't think that's any good. Marginally better. I'm going to drop the old ones, we don't need to carry it around. Medicine stuff. Bandage. We're carrying more stuff than we need. Then back here, we got a bit of wood and matches.
Damn it. So hungry.
And peaches. And here is a bedroll. This is nice, because the good thing about the bedroll is that it allows you to sleep anywhere. You can now put this down, and you can sleep here. Now this is not necessary really in this episode particularly, because there's bed all over the place. But if you are stuck and you would like to sleep somewhere in the open, and you have a fire, or even better, a cave, you can put the bedroll down. You can also check the drawers while we're here, just in case there's something. Oh, cotton toque, cloth, A book is firewood, I guess, but... Water, okay. Papers. Check the bins. The lockers. Gloves. It requires pry bar, which we don't have yet. And there we go. Okay, so now we have a bunch of stuff, which is nice. Yeah, quite a lot of stuff found now. Okay, now there's also an additional thing, which is this. When you pick this up, it starts a quest. Basically says there's an emergency supplies, which actually gives you more food. And it's basically what's happened to this guy. We're not going to read all the notes, it takes too long. And pick that up, and this will trigger now a quest, which is actually all the way up here in this bridge. It's pretty far away. You have to go all the way around here to do it, so we're going to do that while we do the supply cache. Okay, so for now I think we're going to head back to Grey Mother and give her this stuff. Okay. Animals are out, these wolves are out. We're quite heavy. We're going to go back to Grey Mother to give her some food. We also need wood, of course. We did find some wood in there. There might be enough, but we can pick up some sticks along the way too. We're going to get heavy soon, but that's okay. Quite cold out here. It is minus 18. Not great. Give all the sticks. I'll check on the snare, mostly to see if it's broken, because if it's broken, we need to repair. We need to make a new one. No, it's still there. No catches though. Let's pick up some sticks. There we go. And now we head back to Grey Mother. Let's see here. More sticks. Now we have hypothermia risk. Don't worry about hypothermia risk. It just... You take damage from it. Whenever your meters are not in the red, you actually heal. If none of your meters are red, and what I mean is drained red. When they're low, they have a little red bar, but that's okay. But if they are drained, they're empty, which I'm just going to say is in the red, then you start losing health relative to whatever meter is drained. Now we have cold drain and hunger, so you lose 21% per hour basically, but you recover very easily. But if they're all full, you actually heal. Very little, but you do heal while awake. And you sleep, you heal a ton. Okay, so let's put some wood in here. We probably have enough here. Let's put the either in there. Some sticks. How much more does she need? Not a lot. We probably just put the sticks in there. There we go. She's got her firewood. Let's see if we have enough food too, which I think we probably do.
Wait.
Let's put in the peaches, weigh an absolute ton. Put those in there. And put the dog food in there too. How's that? Oh, very close. And let's put in the sardines, the low condition sardines. There we go. We got it. That was the long winter. And now she will trigger the next part of the story. And again, we'll do the dialogue. I don't think there'll be as many because we already initiated some of them. But we're still going to do the same thing. Go through everything. So let's see what she's got to say next. And then she'll take us on to the next quest.
On the way into town, there was an old man. Glasses, big beard, walking stick. He seemed a little odd.
Doesn't sound like anyone from Milton. Most of the elderly have gone. Or died. I'm the only one left. The only one from the old days.
The old man outside of town, Methuselah, he said he'd seen other people walking towards Milton.
Other outsiders? It's possible.
Where would they be? Maybe my friend was with them.
If they were outsiders, they might have stayed in the old schoolhouse. In the months after the quakes, people used to huddle there for the warmth of the school's old coal burner. Rare outsider coming through Milton might stay there the night. If your friend came through Milton, chances are she ended up there.
Have you been able to remember anything else about that night? Anything that might help me find my friend?
I'm back in that night. Wind howling. Voices passing through town. I can hear them. Just outside the window. It's windy, but the voices carry. They are yelling. Her voice, it passes through town. She's running. She's alone, calling for help. But no one comes.
Why didn't anyone help her?
Yes. Why didn't they? They should have. They should have found her before it was too late.
Anything else you can remember might help.
They said men came from the tunnel.
What about the tunnel?
The only way out of Milton. The only way through the mountains. It's the only way she could have gone.
There we are. Notice how her demeanor changed. She put the gun away, so she doesn't consider you a threat anymore. So let's take the gun. No, just kidding. You can't take the gun. You don't get guns in this episode. You do get in episode 2 though, and the other episodes as well. So we're gonna go to a tunnel. We haven't actually seen that tunnel yet, but it's not far. So let's head back out. Seeing as we now have delivered all her food, I mean, we're carrying a bunch of stuff. We could just eat something that was heavy, for example. Let's have some of these drinks or something like that. Okay. So let's head back out. Continue this story. The tunnel she's describing is back where the gas station was. You see it on the map as well, of course. Down here. Now, there's a couple weird things, of course, that he said that he ran into someone on the way into town, which was Methuselah, but of course that wasn't on the way into town. It was outside of town because you already been to town, so the narrative is a bit odd. That might be a result of changes in the game. Also, what I'm playing at the moment is the Redux version, so when the game was in early access, or the beginning when it was launched, episode 1 and 2 was a bit different than it is now, and then they revamped episode 1 and 2 prior to episode 3's release, and these are called the Redux versions, and there are some changes in how they are presented. There could be an artifact of that. Doesn't really matter, of course, but
Need to find some place to
well,
escape
I pointed
this
out.
cold.
Okay, we can run because we're quite cold, so we're gonna go past Orca Station now and follow the road, and all the way to the end of the road there is a bus, and that's the bus she's talking about, or not the bus, but the tunnel she's talking about. Oh, looks like a wolf took down a deer. Yeah, so if you need food, scare away the wolf like I showed you, and grab the deer. Tons of food. Like 10 kilos of meat there. You can pretty much complete the... If you grab that and cook it... Oh, you don't even have to cook it. Give it to Grandma, then you already passed the quest. Okay. This is the tunnel she's talking about. And basically the story is that some convicts came through town.
Happened here? Never felt so cold.
Oh yeah, I should examine this bus, but before I do, loot! Prison Transport Manifest. Actually, if you check the manifest, it's here, I think. Is it? It says who's on it. And is Mathis on it? I don't remember his last name, but yeah. Hobbs is there. He is. D Mathis. He's relevant for later episode. Okay, and then we have up here some of the stuff. Let's check in here, and we're going to use inspect the bus, and we will look inside. Yeah. And now you go back to Grandmother, and that's it, pretty much. There's something else we could do here, but I'm going to wait to do it until a bit later. Which is the deposit keys. Okay. So Perseverance refers to Perseverance Mills, which is Astrid's destination. She didn't really say in the opening, but it's basically revealed now. But it's a location that you... well, she is trying to reach with her hard case. And we don't know as of yet what's going on there, but the hard case got to do with it. You go there in episode 5, so it's quite a stretch ahead. But that is kind of like the long-term goal of it, so to speak. At least for Astrid. Will doesn't really care, he just wants to get Astrid sorted. Okay, so now we go back to Grandmother and tell her about this. She'll explain it, and then she'll send you on another quest. And we're actually approaching the end after that. It's not actually a very big episode, this one. It's by far the shortest. And another deer has been killed. But no rabbits caught though. Where's my rabbits? You know. Because you... Pretty much the only big quest really is to get all the stuff for Grandmother, which you can just do by going to Orca Station and then picking up all the wood you find on the way. And that will be sufficient. You enjoy your food there, Wolfie. Actually, this might be a scripted event. Back in, here we go. What's in the mailbox? In case she has some overdue bills. Alright, now we ask her again. And she will take us to the next part.
Something to eat.
Did you find it?
It was there, like you said.
And your friend?
No sign of her. The tunnel's blocked. Looks like maybe an avalanche. But I think she got through before that happened.
If the tunnel is blocked, that's the end for Grandmother.
So the tunnel is the only way through the mountains?
No. Not the only way through, but my only way through.
I must be losing my mind. Smells like food cooking in here.
It's been a while since Grandmother had anyone to make meals for. Please, take some soup before you go.
Thank you. That's really very kind. She was there at the tunnel, at the bus. I'm sure of it.
You think she passed through the tunnel?
I'm not sure, but she was there. She left me a sign, a word. Perseverance.
A word from the old days. Why would she write that?
She's telling me she won't give up.
Or maybe reminding you not to.
Why write such a long name, though? It has to mean something more.
Why? Because you mean so much to her?
Because she wrote it in blood.
I seem to recall a town somewhere up north, far. What was it called? That's it. Perseverance Mills. old logging and mill town used to be an important place. Now it's mostly dead, like Milton. Maybe she's pointing you there.
Perseverance Mills. How do I get there?
By car, before the quakes, when the roads were clear.
Looks like I'm on foot.
That will be a long road.
I'm starting to get pretty worried about my friend.
There's only one thing left to be done. You need to put her to rest.
Put her to... I'm not giving up yet.
I remember something. A farmhouse on the other side of town. That night, the memories are confused, but somehow I remember the farmhouse. You'll find a key to a safety deposit box somewhere in there. Go to the bank and bring me the box that matches the key. Then you'll understand what happened to her.
Wait. Farm? Bank? What's this have to do with my friend?
They left her, didn't they? She needed help, and they let her go. This is how we make it right.
I don't understand.
In the bank, you'll find the answers. Now go.
Alright, so now we're going to continue with the main story and go to this farm that's in the south of Milton. South, or maybe west. We've been there before already, Paradise Meadows Farms. We're going to go back now to actually continue the story rather than just doing the side quest. She made some soup for us. Really yummy stuff, looks like herbal tea, but it gives tons of calories. It's a nice little soup. Can't pick it up more though, unfortunately. We're carrying quite a bit of stuff, so I think we should drop quite a few things. There's just too much on us that we don't really need. So we can get rid of a few things. It's not really that heavy, but it's just a bit messy. Now, we don't need all these painkillers because they're the same as the Rosehip teas. Let's just drop those. Same with the antibiotics, same as the Reishi teas. Don't need that either, so let's get rid of that. We also have a few excess clothing items, so we can just see what's best. I'll drop the one that's not. Duke is marginally better, so we can put that on. And drop the scarf. What else? We got a lot of food here. Oh, I got a can as well. Drop that. I think maybe keep the rest. But we have too much food. We don't need all this food now. We're going to drop some of it and store it for later for the quest for Grey Mother that comes after the main story, where she wants some more food, basically. So we're going to leave it there. We also have a couple other supplies we don't really need. Let's get rid of the cloth and leather. We will take the guts though, in case we want to make another snare. Okay, I think that's it. That's good enough. Alright, so now let's head to the farm, which is just down the road here. It's not hard to find at all. We've already been there, but let's revisit it for the main story now. Wolfie is still eating. I think that wolf actually is always there. That there is like a scripted event. It'll always be there. I think it's meant to indicate that the wolves are taking over and they're coming into town, and it's kind of unavoidable. I think that's the idea here. But yeah, really strong wind against us now. But we got a lot of health. I'm really not worried about that at all. Now the main story is going to this farm and talking to this prisoner, Hobbs, and get the safe deposit keys, and going to the bank. And we will get all the safe deposit keys, or bank deposit keys, whatever they're called, after this one, because this one is story related, the one that's here, and we'll get the other ones after. Okay, so here's the farm. There's a little barn over there, but there's nothing really over there, so I'd never really check it. There's a lot of little areas that I can't be able to check, and that's one of them. Here you can see that Astrid has been here because she left her magically floating scarf, or whatever that is. So she's been there. So on the right track, I guess. And now we're gonna head into the farm. Before we do, gonna check this barn over here. We didn't really go into it earlier because there was a wolf eating a corpse, which is nice. So we're gonna go and check that out. This wolf is ignoring us for now because it's back to us, and if we're quiet enough, it will ignore us. No, I turned around. Okay. I think we have to kill this wolf actually because it's a bit annoying. Let's just try and shoot it with a flare gun. Alright. Headshot. Again, you don't have to try and kill the wolves with this thing. I've been kind of going at it trying to kill the wolves, but you don't have to. You can just shoot and they will get scared and run away. That's the main purpose of this, to be a deterrent. You can kill animals with it, but it's not necessary. I guess that was the same wolf actually as earlier.
Holy shit.
Because he's finished eating this corpse, as it were.
I could use this.
Another flare shell, nice. And some socks. Probably better than what I got. Especially if I repair them. Very nice. And let's see. Now we got to get into the farm. Now in survival mode, you actually have to find a key for the farm, but that doesn't really apply here. Now, before I do anything else, actually, maybe we should make another snare, just to increase our chances to get this stupid rabbit that has to go into a snare. I'm just going to tank it in the cold, because it only takes 30 minutes, and you can heal it really easily. So I'm just going to build it in the cold. So now we have an extra snare. We can put that over here where there's rabbits. Although I have a suspicion that we might have to put it somewhere else to capture rabbit, because capturing rabbits is notoriously difficult in episode 1 exclusively.
Maybe a dead battery.
Yeah, maybe dead battery, yeah. Change the solenoid. Let's check these trucks just for the sake of it. Oh, hi there. Now, if you do this on survival mode, if you want to enter the farm, you have to get the key.
Like the tractor.
Which can be in this this truck, or it can be in the tractor where I just was, or it can be on the workbench on that corpse in the barn I was just at, or behind the house. We don't really need it though, because in story mode you can just go inside.
That's a bad sign.
Yeah, that means that's not great. Let's just check the back before we go in. See if there's anything. I got some good gloves. Work gloves are good. Some are wood. That's fine. And yeah, I guess that's it. So I think we can just head inside now, to be honest. Yeah. Alright, let's go inside.
That scarf wrapped around your arm. Where'd you get it?
You're never gonna find her.
What did you do to my friend?
We burned them all, you know, in the old school. It was so easy. We just shoved them in there and locked the door.
You monsters.
It just happened. All the lights went out, damn bus lost control and crashed into the tunnel. Brought the roof down on us. Barely crawled out of there alive. Hell, some didn't. People all hanging around trying to get warm after the power went out. All huddled together, scared and freezing. Oh man, I would like to have seen that. But we sure warmed them up.
You're a bastard.
That's about right. We put them all in the old schoolhouse so we could keep an eye on them. And then something happened to the lights. The power. It was like sparks everywhere and then fire. Your scarf lady found us while the school was burning. She tried to help bid them out, but it was already too late. Smoke already did them in. She fought like hell to try and get him out. She stuck a knife or a screwdriver, I'm not sure, into one of our guys. It cut me too. And then ran out into the blizzard.
Where did you see her after that?
You want to know about your lady? Help me first.
Damn it, tell me where she is.
We caught up, but she's a fiery one. Still had the knife. Got me real good, you can see. We tried to stop her, but she ended up on the bus. Somehow, she was small enough to crawl through the crushed part. She got away. Whatever good it's gonna do her.
If you so much as hurt...
Ah, we barely clipped her wings. She wasn't hurt too bad.
Not hurt too bad.
All right, she was bleeding. A bit. No way out of here now. The roads are all blocked. You'll never find her.
You have no idea how stubborn I am.
I told you what I know. Are you gonna help me or what? Pull this knife out of me. It's stuck in deep, and I can't feel anything below my waist. I need it out.
You go after the old lady in the house, too? As well as letting those people in the school burn to death?
Hey. You think they put me on that bus for my good behavior? That's the bus to Black Rock.
Black Rock?
Yeah, you know. Black Rock Federal Pen. Where they put the worst of the bad people. The bad people, bad people. People too bad for the mainland. It's like an old penal colony or some damn thing. They know there's no easy way for us to get back.
Imagine how lucky you are. All those people in Milton, scared, dying, and you getting to live.
So here we have our only real choice in the game that I'm aware of. You can choose to basically kill this guy, Hobbs, or you can spare him. As far as I know, it doesn't really make any difference to the overall story. It changes a little bit some dialogue options later, but other than that, it's pretty much nothing. It's really just a personal choice, a personal narrative choice, and that's pretty much it. Because we're a good guy here and family friendly as far as it goes, we're going to take the knife out.
You don't deserve help. But here.
Oh! Whew. Oh, that's better. Now, I'll just sit here for a while. I think I'm warming up.
Alright. There we go. And the Black Rock that he's talking about is the prison we go to in episode 4. So we'll be revisiting Black Rock. I hope that's a lie. I don't think he's relevant to the story anymore. And here is the key we're talking about. Also pry bar to open anything that's locked. Oh, what's happening here? Stupid background stuff, sorry. Cash is just tinder, doesn't really do anything. Alright, we'll take the pry bar. That's handy. And then here's bank deposit key number 15. That's the one for Grey Mother. Okay. Also, as we're here, have a look around. Is there anything else? Like any food or anything? There's a sewing kit right there. Briefcase.
Could end up being
Dress shirt, I don't know about that. Socks. We're getting some stuff. Oh, wool mittens, those are very good. Trunk. Boots. We got some good stuff here actually. Quite a lot of good clothing. E-jacket, that's a good one. Matches. A lot of stuff in here. The lantern. We already have a lantern. We don't really need it. You can check the kitchen too. And also in here. We might as well look for more supplies for the quest that comes after finishing the main story, which is to get more supplies for Grey Mother. Nice tinder. Okay, in here we got sardines, it looks like. Can opener. That's nice. Don't really need the can opener because you do have the knife, but still, it's something. There, but behind it were these. These ones, if you make these, they you basically heal a bit more in the night. That's pretty much all it does.
Just what
Peanut butter, very nice.
Thank goodness.
Soup. And then here, there's usually some food in this little single Rosehip little pantry, whatever it's called. Dog food, crackers, peaches, sardines, cans of drink, Celerant, the can, another peaches, quite a lot of food there. Alright, so I think we're done here now. What's the weather like out there? Terrible, is it? Yeah, it's pretty terrible. But we're now going to get the other deposit boxes, keys. We're going to do them kind of like in reverse order. So, one is actually over here. Close to the river. It's a corpse that's close to the river. And then another one is by the Orca gas station. And a third one is in a house towards the bank. They're quite heavy. But that's okay. So the corpse that has the key should be up here. I'm not worried about the temperature because we'll heal up. There it is. You can see the corpse right there. There it is. It's terrible weather, but it doesn't matter. This area is so small. Episode 1 is by far, I would say, the shortest of all the episodes. Now, a lot of the episodes are actually confined to this one region. Here it's Mountain Town. It's not even the full Mountain Town because there is a basin down there. Then episode 3 is Pleasant Valley, episode 4 is Blackrock, while episode 2 and 5 are multiple regions. But this one is probably the shortest of all the episodes. It also has maybe the most dialogue. Maybe episode 3 has more dialogue, episode 4. Episode 2, which is coming up, I think has quite little dialogue because it's mostly Jeremiah you talk to. And this guy should have the deposit key. There we are, number 13. These feathers are used to make arrows, but you can't do that here. But you can still pick them up if you want to, but it doesn't really serve any purpose. So that's another deposit box key. Now I'm going to head back to Orca Station. And there's a blue truck behind the Orca Station that has a key. By the way, up here on this cliff here, which you can get to just walking around, is where you need to go to finish the story. And there's a rope there you have to attach to basically wrap this up. If you try to go down there before completing the Grey Mother story, the game just kills you. It's not possible to get down there. I've tried for hours. It might be possible through some very specific out-of-bounds scouting, maybe, but I have not been able to do it. But I did a speedrun on episode 1 a few times, and yeah, I couldn't get past it. And the draw distance is kind of messed up. See that? It's messed up. Oh well, doesn't really matter. I know I'm heavy already because I'm exhausted. I might sleep in this this gas station just to recover some sleep and some health. Can you go through? I think I thought I could go through the. Here is this blue truck I'm talking about. There's another safe deposit key. And then the third one is in a house. Yeah. So search the glove box. And then here's the key. 20. There's not 20 keys to find. I mean, first time I played the story, I was like, wow, that's a lot of keys. I only found 2. I don't know. Missing like 15, you know, whatever. But no, it's only 4 keys. 1 is required for the story, the other 3 optional. Since we're exhausted, I think we're going to sleep here. Just going to go back into Methuselah's little hideout and have a little sleep. Cover some health and some fatigue. Let's just go here. Eat a little something. Let's eat some soup, for example. She gave us. And then drink, and then we'll just go to sleep. We'll still be heavy when we wake up, but not very heavy. For 12 hours. And there we are, fully rested. It's nighttime, but barely nighttime. If you do want to wait until morning, you could just pass time. And then the light will come. A good rule is to pass 2 hours and then sleep 1. You'll be fully rested. Because we're losing health because we're hungry, but that doesn't really matter. So you pass 2, sleep 1. And now there's daylight, as you can see. Now, keep in mind that there is actually a temperature fluctuation throughout the day. Oh, look at that. Nice sunrise. The coldest part of the day is the morning. It's much colder in the morning. And then from the morning onwards, it slowly warms up. Or basically, once it starts getting nighttime, early night, late evening, the world starts getting colder across the night, and the morning is the coldest. Then the sun rises, and slowly it gets warmer and warmer until you get to the late afternoon when it's the warmest, which is why now I'm walking out and I'm really cold. If I walk out late this afternoon, this weather, I'll be warm. So yeah. Now the last key is in one of these houses. I believe it's this house right here, this one here. So there's also one there, and the one over there, I think it's this one with the flag, is the bank manager's house. It's basically the one opposite that, so this one, I believe. You go in here, and at the top there is a bed with a plastic container in it. There's a lantern. You might as well, as we're here, go in the kitchen and serve for some food that we can use for later. Just to have some extra supplies for Grey Mother when she needs it. There'll be a quest afterwards where she wants more food, basically.
Hope nobody needs this anymore.
Go. And this one's 2.
I need more of that.
Rabbit. There's water, I think.
I need to drop something.
Yeah, we're heavy, but that's okay. Then we go upstairs. Still haven't actually caught a rabbit, which is a bit annoying. And here, oh, it's not this house. Must be the other house then. We got a drink here. Scarf. We don't need a scarf. And then there's granola bar. There you go. It wasn't this house. That's okay. We looted for some food anyway. I think it might be this other house here. It's this house here, I believe. This looks right, yeah. And again, seeing as we're in here, we might as well loot the place to find particularly food and wood. It's really what we're looking for here. And I'm carrying a bunch of clothing items that I don't actually need. We'll do a sit rep with that when we get to Grey Mother's house. Then we can go through all that stuff. Okay. It's weird that we still haven't caught a rabbit. It is a bit weird. unless the actual snare broke. That's possible. So we got all the food. Yeah, this is the one. Plastic container under the bed. There you go. Got the key number 7. That's pretty much it. And now we can open all these ones. And that's it. So let's head there now. It's in the bank. So this is the one right here, the credit union, as it were. Oh, sorry, this is the post office. The credit union is over here. We still have some things to do though. We have the highway robbery and also some supply cache to pick up. There's a few things to do still. Yeah, credit union. Union letter, which you can take. Actually been in here yet. Here's also some miscellaneous loot around as well. You might as well just loot the stuff as you're here to get some more supply. There's a drink. You need a drink when you're in the bank. And I believe there, bank manager's house key. Yeah, we need that to get to the bank manager's house. Which we do need to get the code. So when we get there now, I have to go through my inventory in a second because I'm really heavy. Picking everything up. Dude, there's a cotton scarf that we don't need. The granola bar that I missed. This game has loot spread all over the place, so you gotta keep an eye out for all sorts of things. Now we can open the lockers because we have the pry bar. There's also a locker in Orca Station that didn't open. Ooh, combat boots. Very heavy though. More coffee. See, there's quite a lot of loot around. And as you can see, by just starving myself, which I'm doing, I'm not really in any, you know, any danger. There's so much food, even on that. This is the hardest difficulty, remember? Coffee. This mug you can buy in the store if you want. Plastic. I have it. Mine was gifted, but you can buy it. I'll search the cash register. And this is safe, and in here you need the vault code. Okay. Now here, this
vault.
The bank manager's house. So here, the safe. A lot of people don't understand how to open the safe. It's really simple. You just got to move it one direction towards the numbers here, and it's you click left to move to the right because you're moving the wheel to the left. And then you just got to move it slowly until you find the right number, and then you move the other direction. So there was the number. See, if you go over it like that, you just reset back to 0 or past 0, and then you go back again. So it's around 9 or 10, and I go the other direction of the next one. That was really close. It was like 7 or something. So let's do this again. You got 10 and 8, and now we got to find the third one. You can go fast and skip it, or you can go slow. If you exit this, if you learn the numbers and exit and go back, the code will have changed. So you have to do this again. So that you can't just speed run it like that. So I tend to do it very quickly. The first 2 numbers just spin fast to find out what they were. And the third one I do slow. I think that's faster than doing the whole thing again. Unless you get like ridiculously spaced numbers though, like here. It was about 8, and now this one, next one is what? Wow, 5. So like 10, 8, 5. And then you get some loot in here. Stacks of papers, book, and the money. And that's it. Okay, we need to now get to bank manager's house to grab the code. Before I do that, I'm gonna drop by grandmother's house a little bit. Drop some stuff, gonna carry a bunch of junk. Let's lighten the load a little bit. Here's a little wood supply bin thing. Let's drop a bunch of wood that we don't need. Let's also go inside. And here on the floor we got some food. We can do the same thing here. We're carrying too much food. Got most of this stuff, to be honest. So heavy. Okay, and then we also have a bunch of miscellaneous, like, so let's check the here. We got shirt is worse. Actually, it would have been better than this. That's okay. And here we want the wool mittens. They're the best ones. Get rid of the rest. You can harvest it if you want, but wool socks, you already have wool socks. Marginally better. It was better. We got Mackenzie's boots, but I bet you these boots are better. These are very good combat boots, but they're really heavy. Trail boots are better, so I'm going to do that. Get rid of his Mackenzie boots. And I think we're more or less done. Our sister. Guess that's it, I suppose. Scrap metal we can drop. Yeah, I suppose we can drop the antibiotics too. A lot of loot, as you can see. We don't need all this tinder either. Give all the cash to Grey Mother. Okay, now we can go back out there. I'm gonna head to the bank manager's house. Okay. Still haven't caught a rabbit, which is weird. And why haven't I caught a rabbit, you know? Got 2 snares out, and neither of them have caught a rabbit. Snare is up there. All the rabbits go. Ooh. It's still up, it just doesn't call anything. Okay, so bank manager's house is this one with the flag. It stands out like that. We're gonna go in here. And then you just loot the place until you have the key, have the code basically. So here we might as well loot the whole place, right? Take the wood. See what food there is.
Just
got
what
some,
I need.
got some fish. Matches. Too much stuff, if anything. You don't need antiseptic. There's another can opener. You don't really need more clothing, but we might as well check as we're here. There we are, now it's all looted. There we go. And then here we can check the cabinet. He's got fancy shoes. We don't need parka. Could be good. Oh yeah, it's better. This is worse for now. Use that for the moment. You don't have to keep Mackenzie's clothes. Oh, wool sweater, that's a good one. Let's see. Cargo pants, those are very good. You gotta repair them though. We could just do that now, if anything. Grab some of these curtains. If you put on these cargo pants and repair them, they're pretty strong. And then we have the ski jacket is better than Mackenzie's jacket, I believe. I think it is. We repair this a little bit just to see. Not gonna hurry or anything. Now they have the same condition. And this is actually identical. Let's think of it. Look. The only difference is it weighs less. So there's that. So let's put that on then. And here you can see that the parka, I think it actually is marginally better. Let's repair the Mackenzie's jacket. I think it might be slightly better. Doesn't really matter in the long run. Let's just put it on now though, because it looks cool. Then you have the thin wool sweater, which is very good. And it's about the same really. I mean, let's keep his sweater just for nostalgia. And there we go. Alright. And then here's the code. I think it's in here.
Thank goodness.
There it is. Bankwell code. So it gives you the code, but you don't have to know what you don't have to remember it. That applies to all these sort of things in the long dark. It's 1930-08, but you don't need that. You just take it, and then the character just knows it. That's it.
Hope nobody needs this.
Another sign kit. Okay. Let's head back out. And now we head back to the bank. And now we have the code for the vault, and we can go in there. As you can see, there's plenty of houses I haven't been into yet. So if you need more stuff, just keep going, really. Okay. Now, we can open the vault. Have a drink. Oh. Forget what I said. Usually you don't have to do. Usually you don't have to know the code. They just put it in. forget what I said then. Okay. Anyway, it was 1930. Oh wait. Okay. But it's funny you had to go find it though, because if not, you can just do this the normal way, right? Like I did with the safe. Ah, there we go. Voila. Now we can rob people of their things. Seeing as we're right by the grandma's house, we might as well pick up the books too. It's fuel. Back the paper. Okay, so the one that she wanted, I think, was the 15. Yeah, grandmother's box.
This will come in handy.
That's the main story. Okay. But now we have all the other ones too, which are 7, 13, and 20, I think. The other ones, some of them you can just open by themselves, right? It usually is cash. Some are open, I think nothing in it. But then some are locked.
I could use this.
Fair show. And 13 was one as well, wasn't it? 13 and 20. Ooh, the balaclava. Very nice. Ski gloves. Good stuff. Oops. Yeah, I might as well take people's money. And then finally, number 20.
What have we here?
Banglance. Very nice, and there we go. They were done. We got an achievement too. Open all the boxes. The mag lens is very good because this allows you to start a fire if it's sunlight, so you don't need the matches. Although, as you can see, we're swimming in matches, so it's really not that hard. Balaclava is fantastic. It's better than both of these, really. But I guess you can put it on here and just repair it, and I think Will's hat is a little bit better. Repair the hat, a balaclava rather. And then I prefer the mittens, but these ski gloves are better, they are. But they weigh a lot more, half a kilo, this is 0.1, so I prefer that. As you've seen, like, the weather isn't really that much of a obstacle here. Gosh, imagine returning the Grey Mother like, hey, it's me, Will. Can't you recognize me? Okay, now let's go. Oh, I think there were a couple... Well, there's some books and stuff around here I didn't pick up. Or maybe not, that was maybe somewhere else. Doesn't matter. Let's go here. And now we can return to Grey Mother with this stuff. And then her story is completed. And then we'll just go from there. Then you can then leave. But we have still things to do. There's 2 quests that start after the main story is completed. And there's also 2 we haven't finished yet. Alright. Alright, Grey Mother. Here's your stuff.
I managed to get into the bank, and
Did you find it?
here's the safety deposit box you asked for. I still don't...
Shh, please. Give me the box.
Jewelry? I don't understand. You said this would help me find her.
It will. Outsider, it will.
I need to find my friend. Do you think you'll be okay here by yourself?
You've done more for me than you can know, Mackenzie. These pearls were my lilies.
I didn't come across anyone in the farmhouse or bank that seemed like a lily.
Lily was... It doesn't matter.
Did you get confused? In your foggy gray memories? Maybe you thought Lily and my friend were the same?
I'm sorry, Mackenzie. I thought I was helping you.
It's okay. I don't think you're in any danger anymore. You should have enough supplies to last a while now. I'm sure help is on the way.
Now that I have her pearls. Lily's things.
What? Sorry, I don't understand.
I needed the pearls to remember her, but now you can take her things. Upstairs, in her old room, her climbing gear, her maps. They can help you get out of Milton. The path through the mountains.
You mean there's another way out?
Yes. My Lily was a climber. That's what happened. Never mind that. Take the rope, the map, follow her path. It'll lead you out of Milton and deeper into the mountains, north, towards Perseverance Mills.
Okay. If you're sure. Thank you.
Now lead me to my memories, outsider. Go out there and find your friend. And don't stop to think about Milton or Grey Mother again. We're of the old world. This new world is for the strong to survive.
And there we go. We completed the chapter. We have now gotten access to Lily's things, which is climbing gear, which allows us to exit Milton. And that's effectively the end of episode 1 once we do that. But there's still a few things to do. She now has a follow-up quest, which is to complete Lily's story, which is quite a simple quest, really. We can do something else while we're at it. And we also have some additional supplies that she will request. And we also haven't finished the supply cache. There's a couple of smaller things. And of course, you have to actually leave Milton. But we're pretty much at the end now. We're just going to wrap up a few loose ends to make this 100%. So we're going to talk to her some more. By the way, you notice that there was the foggy grey memories, aka that's why she's Grey Mother, right? Because she's got grey memories. She confused your friend Astrid, aka your ex-wife, or maybe wife, with her own daughter.
Lily. Who was she?
You want to understand Lily's story? Man who fell from the sky.
I think I know enough about Lost to understand why you wanted her pearls.
Then take them to Lily.
Lily's still here? In Milton? Why didn't you say so?
Go find her. Take the pearls and give them to Lily. And then I can rest in peace.
Okay. So the climbing gear is one thing. We can wait to do that because we don't really need to do it right now until we finish. And the final request is to deliver the pearls to the grave. Then she has one more thing, which is on the couch now. There's this note. This note wasn't there before. It is there now. And if you now click on this, it will give you another quest. But basically, he wants more stuff. That's what this is. And you can see how much she wants. Here is the extra supplies. Food, extra food, and extra fuel. And it's quite a lot of food, really. But we have already picked up a bunch of food, and we're going to find even more. So we can do all this stuff. Let's go over here and just
Something's gotta go.
give her whatever she wants. So let's put in some stuff here. Heavy things especially. Boom, boom. And does it say here? It doesn't actually give you the counter. You have to do it here rather than here. That's okay though. We're just gonna give her all this stuff. We don't need any of this really. And most of her drinks she can take too. How much is that? That is almost there. 4,000 more. So she can have the crackers. They give a ton of stuff. She can have all these sardines. How's that? I think we need a bit more maybe. Base 700 is nothing. So let's give her a couple drinks. These granola bars. I think that'll do it. Yeah, now she has enough food. As you can see, we have lots of food left. There we go. And she needs more wood as well. So that's easy enough. So we can pick up this stuff. And you can just give her all this. Let's keep one stick. Give her the reclaimed wood. Oops. And the coal too. Okay, how much more does she need? We're about a little more halfway there. Okay, so we just pick up some more stuff. So now, there's a couple of things we can do. So we haven't picked up all the supplies. So the supply cache up here. We haven't picked up the supply cache that's over here, which is next to the church, which is also Lily's grave. And then there's the highway robbery as well. So we can do those things right now, and then that's pretty much it. We need some more wood, which you could pick up along the way. We don't need more food anymore. We can pretty much just eat stuff if we want to. Because we completed that part for Grandmother. We do still need to snare a rabbit though. So it just hasn't triggered, which is annoying, but it is what it is. So now, remember one supply cache was over there behind the house. We're going to go up and grab one now that's here. In this cave, which is a cave we passed right at the beginning. This cave will also have coal in it, which is good for Grandmother. And then that part will be done too. And if you run out of wood, if you need more wood, it's really easy to get. You just you pick up sticks. There's also wood spread around in all the houses, but you can also break stuff down. Like you have a hatchet, so you can break down limbs, which will give you wood. Or just go into the houses and break down like chairs and stuff. And that will give you wood as well. So getting wood is quite easy. And as you can see, I haven't been struggling with food at all. I starved just to preserve some food, but I have lots of food left. And there's loads of houses I haven't gone into, which would also have more food. And we have these supply caches as well, and the highway robbery, which all will give us food as well. So there's lots of food everywhere. All over the place. Okay. Now in the past, you can actually get to the highway robbery scene from here, going to the left over here. But I think they have changed that, so we can't do that anymore. Whoops. Pick up all the sticks. Over here is the supply cache. We're going to go here. We're also going to pick up this coal. Coal is very powerful, so we might have enough for Grandmother with this. Quite a lot of it. Here, these blue stones is the hidden cache. Let's open that.
There you are.
Military grade MRE. Acropole, these are not that great, but and the ooh, flare. Good stuff. Good stuff. There we go. Now we can return. Now we're going to do the next 3 parts. So the last supply cache is by the church, which is where we also have to do the Lily's quest. And then finally, we have to go do the highway robbery, which is up by the bridge. And it's not very far. In the old version of this episode, you actually spawned close to the bridge. The plane crash took you through a cave and whatever, and got to the. Well, actually, I'm not sure it was a cave, but it led to the road, and you went by this cave, and you got through Milton, not here, but through the other side. So it's quite different in that regard. That was scary. It was scarier. It was the wolves. I might sleep also, but I think we'll wait to sleep until we get to the church, and we can sleep in the church instead. Alright, let's see how much wood this bought for Grandmother. You just put in this coal. How much does that do, the coal? Quite a lot, but no, that's not going to be enough. So let's just put all the coal in there for her and some more sticks. And then we can see what we got here. We're getting there. I'm carrying too much crap here. Like, I don't need all this, like the cash, for example. All these newsprints, or even all these matches, but that's okay. Okay, now I'm going to get the next supply cache and also complete Lily's Lily's story. There's another Astrid clue. This is probably the old story. She came this way, maybe. You can scare off wolves by hitting them in the head with the stone. You also distract them by throwing a stone somewhere else. They'll go for it. Or you can scare them off with the torch trick. But you can also just use this, like I did before. I'm not worried about the wolves. Just because I'm tired, I'm going to sleep here in the church. Hey, if you need more wood, just break down these limbs. But there's also wood spread around there. There's the wood lot. There's two wood lots. The other one's on the other side of the town by the Orca Station. You can just go around and pick this stuff up, and you get a load of wood here too. This should do it for Grandmother, I think. I'm getting heavy, huh? It's because I'm tired. Hi there, Wolfie. Yeah, maybe you shouldn't have done that. But then you get shot in the face, you see. Picking up the sticks also, just to have enough wood for her. The food part was very easy. Wood is like, of course, if you know all this stuff already, like which I did, but if you know exactly what's needed and you're going to play this, then you can just hoard everything in advance. Pick every single stick you want, that you see, that sort of stuff, and just have everything ready. I kind of did that with the food, but not so much with everything else. Okay, I think Lily's grave is over there, but before we do that, we're going to grab the supply cache, which should be behind the church, by a fallen tree, I think it is. I think it's around here somewhere. This one? It might be this one. I can't remember, to be honest. It's been a little while, sorry. I think it is here. Oh, here we are. There it is.
Ah, here it is.
Got it.
Now we're cooking with gas.
Nice. Load of stuff. And there we go. That's all the supply cache sorted. So now we've done all of those too. Now it's just Lily's. And then we need to
Close my eyes.
hire a robbery and then get us a rabbit, pretty much. So over here should be Lily's grave. Here she is. Lilith Barker.
Damn it. So hungry.
Will. And there you go. And there you go. And now that's done. Grandmother's story is completely wrapped up. Very exhausted. It's getting kind of late, so we're going to go in here and into the church and sleep here. Get some energy back. And we can loot it if you want, but we kind of got all the loot we need now. It's only really wood we can pick up. And the books are too heavy, I think, so I'm not going to bother picking up the books. Pass this note. Water. There is good. Oops. Need more wood when we get back. Then we will just break some stuff down. Okay, let's what's the heaviest that stuff here? Let's eat stuff. Eat some stuff. Some more stuff. And that stuff. There we go. That's good enough. Let's sleep for 12 hours. There we go, now it's dark because it's still a little early. But we can just pass time. Sleep 2 hours. So 2 hours pass, sleep 1. Should be fine. There we go. There we go, now we can head out. Sun's coming up, might be a little dark, that's fine. Sun's coming up though, very cold, but it's fine. Sun's coming up. And now we can head up towards the bridge. There's a couple points of interest along the way, but not really much to it other than the bridge itself. If you want, you can sprint a little bit further by tapping the sprint button instead of holding it. Then you'll sprint a little bit further. Because the character basically, when you let go of the sprint, your character is already in motion. And basically he'll propel himself forward a little bit. There's a cave over there we haven't been to. I don't think there's anything really in there though. I'm sticking to story relevant stuff here pretty much. There's a little road collapse. You can just crouch through this like this. Or you can go another route, of course. There is also a trailer right here. Over there. We can check out that trailer going back. You can see the weather's changing. Plenty of open area here. In fact, this whole area is kind of like deadish. Because this was part of the old story. And now it's just this massive brute in a wide open space that doesn't really go anywhere. There's places to find, like there's wood, there's plants, there's animals, there's the old loot here and there. They find the odd corpse. You know, there's stuff to do here, but there's nothing story related here except for this highway robbery, and that's pretty much it. We're just gonna get there. I'm amazed that I still have not caught a rabbit in the snare. That's a little bit of a pain. That is what it is. If you run, the wolves are more likely to detect you, by the way. And also you can walk the dog, which is like this. As long as you're in front of the dog. Wow, the wolf will just follow you, but won't really do anything. You can also throw a stone at the wolf, but it'll only work if you hit him on the head, and you cannot aim. If you start aiming with the stone, you'll trigger a charge. If you just aim like this, though, hit it or hit it close, it'll run away. And it's easy when he's closer, but... Yeah, close enough. Because he ran right towards me, which wasn't so nice. Would you run somewhere else, Mr. Wolf? You had to go right here, did you? I scared you. And you decided to come here. Come on, Wolfie. This is why this rest pistol is so handy.
I need anything right about now.
Yeah. It's again running this way. I'll come back. Okay, so over here is the higher robbery thing we're talking about. Should be in the back of a truck. It is, I think it's this one.
Aha, here it
There we go.
is. I'll be hungry later.
Load of a load of food. The stress pistol.
Looks like I made it through another night.
So much stuff. We don't need all this stuff either. Freedom Break is alright, but we don't really need it. Parker is better. Let's put that on. And yeah, I found a bunch of food. So now we've done that too. So now the only thing left really is turn the grey mother for that. Extra wood, and then we still haven't we haven't actually caught a rabbit yet, which is a bit annoying. Oh well, it is what it is. You can go down here, there's more stuff to loot here, but we don't really need to do any of this stuff. We're just gonna... This wolf is heading back. When a wolf exits its territory, it will start making its way back to where it was. So this is not surprising the wolf is in my way. There's more wolves up ahead. One thing about having a wolf after you is that if a wolf is following you, it kind of prevents other wolves from following you too. One very small thing that I really like about story modes is that it has the old flare gun animation, where you hold the gun like this. Oh, in the modern version they have changed it. Oh dang, I didn't reload the flare gun. I know what happened. Choose the axe. There you go. Well, let that be a lesson for more than one thing. I can explain exactly what happened. The bleeding. Okay, so this is now loaded. Now it's loaded. Let's just get rid of this guy too. You click R to load. Let's bandage our blood loss. Let's use the grey stuff. Spears for that. Now what happened there is not as simple as you thought. So you might remember from the last time I fired the stress pistol, I did load it. I put a cartridge in and I took the other one out. So why wasn't loaded now? Because I picked up another stress pistol, which is this one. And notice the condition is higher than this one. So the game will always pick the weapon with the highest condition. If you have two weapons of the same type, or two torches of different, of the same type, whatever, it will always pick the highest condition. It always picks the best condition torch, the best condition gun. So in here I had a loaded flare gun, but I picked up another one, and because it was higher condition, it chose that one, but it wasn't loaded. So that's exactly what happened there. Well, these things happen. Let's just go in here quickly, warm up a little bit. I think there might be some wood also by this barrel. No? Okay. Thought there was. There's another workbench, in case you want to make another snare.
I could eat anything right now.
Don't think there's any wood to house. There's jerry can for more oil for the lantern. It's nice. Another cargo pant. Wow. It's probably better than this. Yeah, it is. Once it's repaired, it is better. So I guess let's get rid of Mackenzie's trousers. Now we can break this down, the shelf, just for the fun of it. Get some wood. And we could always heal a little bit too. Because we're a bit tired from running and everything. So we could have a little drink, sleep a little bit, and then go to Grandmother's. I haven't made water in a little while, so I'm a bit low on water.
I might have to drop some gear.
Fix is fine. There we go. Let's head back to Grandmother. I think we have enough wood. If we don't,
Never been so hungry.
I will just break some stuff in someone's house. Okay, we can just go across here instead of going through the church there, which is basically a bend in the road. You just go this way instead. Over here. And now we've pretty much done everything except for that one thing, which is snare a rabbit. You might have to move it. If you don't catch one, you don't catch one, but what you can do is you can go somewhere that's got more high population of rabbits. For example, the one by behind Grandmother's house, where there's that pond of rabbits. You can go there, for example. Rabbits all over the place. But you see how useful the stress pistol is now, right? Because it really protects you from the wolves. As you saw now, if you don't choose the stress pistol when you pick your optional supplies, you can still get rid of the wolves with torches or stones and what have you. But it is much easier with this. But also you can get the distress pistol over in the highway robbery, which you just saw. So if you don't pick it, there's still one to be found. Use it sparingly if you can. Alright, we're back in Milton. And the only thing really missing now is the rabbit being snared, yeah. Might go and move it somewhere else. Because it's not really doing anything there, which is weird. You'd think it would work, but no. Usually it's pretty simple. You get one pretty much every day. It should be pretty easy. Okay, put this in here. Going to reclaim wood. Is that enough? I think so. How much is... I still need a bit more. That's fine. That's why you have these. How about now? No. Practically though. So let's give some sticks. I think she's done. Got it? No. Get even a bit more then. That should do it, right? There we go. Got it. Very nice. You're welcome, Grandmother. And then we talked about these pearls. Ooh, Mackinac jacket. This is presumably our reward, because I wasn't there before either. Ooh, and mountaineering boots. Very nice.
I found Lily, your daughter. She has her pearls now.
They were the last gift I gave her on her 16th birthday. She wanted to leave Milton, to be free. She had grown up here in the mountains, a climber. She wanted to leave to summit all the tallest peaks on Great Bear. I was afraid to let her go. We fought bitterly. And she left. She died out there in the mountains, in the wilderness.
Losing a child is
It's like losing your own life. You have a kind heart, Mackenzie. But it's a heavy one. Go. Find your friend. Use Lily's climbing gear and her map, and maybe then her death won't feel so empty.
Thank you. I'll come back for you.
You've done a lot for me, Mackenzie. I won't forget about you.
There you go. I get these boots. Very nice. And Mackinac jacket. Very nice jacket. But let's just put that on. Yeah, that's slightly better. They're not that much. They're kind of the same, these two. Pretty much the same. So let's keep the Mackinac jacket. Sorry, this one. Let's just switch them around though. Oh, very nice. The boots. Very nice boots. Alright. And that's it pretty much. Now we've done all that. I'm going to unload this low condition one and empty that. We have too many flares and misc stuff, but we can wait to do all that stuff later. So looking good. We have so many supplies too, it's crazy. So we've pretty much done everything now except for obviously getting the climbing gear. The only thing missing is the stupid rabbit. So we have to go and do that. We might move the snares to see if that changes anything. All right. So other than the main story now, there's only really one thing to do, which is snaring this rabbit. Now the thing is, I haven't really mentioned this already, but snaring rabbits is kind of notoriously difficult in this episode. It just is. There seems to be this thing where for some reason they don't really bite, so to speak, but they do in other episodes. So I'm going to go out and check the traps one more time. Still nothing. The one that's down by the farm, I think I'm going to leave there. The one that's over here, that I put here, we're going to move this one. I'm going to put it back up to this radio tower there. There's that radio tower up there. Remember there was a pond of rabbits over there? We're going to move it over there. Oh, this is terrible wind. Oh, this is terrible. Because for some reason, I don't know why. Oh God, really? Hey. That came out of nowhere. Well, at least that was a lesson in dealing with wolves. So when you're in a wolf struggle, you want to choose the hatchet. The hatchet does the most damage and it's more likely for the wolves to run away. But you can also use anything else. Knives is fine, pry bar is fine. Anything is fine really, but the hatchet is the best. It just does more damage to it. While the other ones, you know, don't do as much. But if you do use a knife or hatchet, the wolf will die as a result. He'll run away and flee and bleed out. We didn't get any bleeds from this. So we don't need bandages or anything from this one. Okay, so here you can see there's a lot of rabbits, but after several days, still nothing. Which is annoying. What we're going to do then is go to this other lake. So, in preparation for this episode, I was asking around a bit, because I remember this was one of those things that people complained a lot about. For some reason, it's very hard to catch a rabbit with a snare in episode 1. This does seem to be restricted to episode 1 specifically. In episode 2 and onwards, it's not the case. It's pretty easy. On survival mode, it's pretty easy too. So for example, if you have a grow a rabbit somewhere, you can just put a couple traps down and every day you'll catch at least one rabbit. It's pretty easy to catch a rabbit in survival mode. And in the other episodes also, it shouldn't be that hard. If you can see rabbits around, put down a snare and you will catch a rabbit. It might take half a day, might take a day, might take a day and a half, but it's not going to take very long. Classic example is Trapper's Cabin. They may not have rabbits in it now. I think it does here on story mode though. You just put down some traps, go inside, wait a little bit, come out. Oh, there's a rabbit there. But for some reason in episode 1, it's just really hard. And you can put down a bunch of snares where there's rabbits and it doesn't really work, which is a bit annoying. The best place to do it is really up here. Because here there's a bunch of rabbits moving around, and it's one of those places where there's not any wolves either, so it's quite easy to catch them without any wolves interfering. So we're going to try and put it here. So what we're going to do now, this is a bit unusual. Normally, if I was doing this and I was playing by myself, I would just say like, oh, well, screw this side mission. It doesn't really matter. We just leave it. It doesn't make a difference. But this is a completionist run. We're going to do 100%. So if you're stuck in a situation and you do want to do this quest and you can't, understandably, it's frustrating. You might have to pass quite a lot of time to do it. You might have to hibernate just to get this stupid mission. So what I recommend doing is take the snare. If you haven't caught one already, or you maybe can do this right away, just to save time. Take the snare and go over here. So here there should be a bunch of rabbits. They might not be out right now. Here's one. Put the snare somewhere around here. Say here. And then we're going to go to this cave that we were in earlier. I think there actually might be a cave over there too. I don't think so though on story mode. But anyway, we're going to go to this cave that was over here. And we're going to sleep in it and basically pass time until a rabbit is caught. And if a rabbit has not been caught in like 2 days or a day and a half, we're going to go back to Greymother's house and grab the guts and make 2 more snares. And now here in this cave, if you go to the back of the cave here, you're at the interior part of the cave. Notice, for example, if you look at how I'm walking slow, 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 and now fast. That's because now I'm on the exterior side of the cave. Once I go to the interior, I slow down and I become warmer. So it's kind of like being indoors. So you can really sleep here. So I'm just going to put this down. You're not going to get cold here. It's unless it's a blizzard, but even so, you can always, if you want, you can just save it, you know, just in case. Can't even type it right. So let's just eat something. We can eat some peanut butter, jar peanut butter. I'm sure that won't give you a stomach ache. Drink a bit of water, and let's just sleep for 12 hours and see what happens. And there we go. We got it. See? There we go. Which also completes all of the survival schools. Very, very nice. Let's just have something to eat and sleep like 1 more hour maybe so the light comes up. Well, actually the sun is kind of on its way up, I think. I don't have much water, but that doesn't matter. Okay, so there we go. How much light is there here now? Not a lot, but we can always say on the warm side here. -5. We're actually getting cold here. Let's just wait a little bit. Put down your bedroll, and you can pass time in it too. Click pass time here. Pass a little bit of time. Yeah, so let's get a little bit more light. We can go out. Now, if you actually want the rabbit, notice that the quest completed, even though I haven't checked the snare. That's because the quest is just to catch a rabbit with the snare. You don't have to actually pick it up. Now, obviously, if you want to harvest rabbits through the snare, you have to actually go check them. This is a little bit far away from the grandmother's house, but it's not too bad. But what you do is this. It will look like this here. Let's just light this so you can have a better vision. Here is the snare. And there's the rabbit. And if this happens, you just pick up the rabbit, pick up the snare, and you can always put it back again. Yeah. I'm going to take it with me though. Might need it for episode 2. And I'm going to not take the rabbit with me. I'm going to drop that as a decoy. Because I'm going to smell if I bring that with me, and I don't need it. And now we're going to head back to Greymother's house. Now we have completely finished all the side missions. We've been almost everywhere too. All this is regenerating. You can look at the map. See, we have been basically everywhere. We haven't been to like this the nuances of this area here, this northern area. It's not technically north, but that doesn't matter. So there are places you haven't been to, but there's nothing to do in those places. Like, you'll find mushrooms and rosehips, and there might be the odd corpse that has loot on it. There's also some cars on the road that has some loot on it. So there's smaller things to be found in the world that we haven't done. You know, the odd thing to loot, but not very much. This is basically the gist of it, really. So we've done everything now. If you wanted to get more stuff, you can go and loot all the houses. There's a lot of houses we haven't been to, so there's more loot to be found there. But if you look at what we got a ton of food, right? Ton of food already. We got good gear. Some is from the quest, some is from other stuff. Plus 14 degrees to warmth bonus. We got good stuff. You can go and try and find even better stuff, sure, and even more food, but why? There's nothing really to it, quest-wise. But if you want to do it, you can. And there are some people who play story mode as if it was survival. Because you can save manually and you can sustain yourself. You can live forever here in Milton if you want to. But the only things that are going to respawn, really, food-wise, is rabbits and deer. Well, and wolves that you can kill with a hatchet, I guess. So it is possible to survive here in Milton forever, and some people do. And if you did, then of course there's more places to loot. In the end of the day, though, story-wise and completion-wise, I believe we have done everything now. So now it's just about leaving. Now, unique to episode 1 and 2 is that the stuff you take with you from episode 1 should transfer to episode 2. I believe, unless they changed it. But that's not the case in the other episodes. For example, from episode 2 to 4, when you will, it doesn't happen. So that's the whole thing. So you might want to take some stuff with you for that. Now, the climbing gear that she's talking about is up here in the trunk. We need this to continue the story. Here's the trunk.
Here's a drink.
As the rope, this is very heavy, but that doesn't matter because you're going to attach it and then climb down. Climbing socks are the best socks in the game. Here's her map. Now, you don't really need the map because it's pretty linear, but basically what it says is you go to Orca Station and up the road to a picnic table where there's a rope anchor you can attach this rope to. You climb down and you get sort of like a plateau, and then there's another rope anchor. You climb up and then you follow a river to a cave, and that takes you to Mystery Lake. That is what this is. And yeah, so the map is handy. You don't really need it, but it does help to say where to go, I suppose. But you can also click M and you see it says right there, Paradise Lost. Okay. Now I'm just going to find the climbing area. And I think we've exhausted all dialogue options with Grey Mother as well. I don't think there's any more to say to her. No. And we are carrying too much stuff, if anything. But what we could do, since things are transferred, we could take this with us. These are almost cured. Not quite. So I will actually smell a little bit carrying this, but that's okay. We can just take it with us. This other stuff doesn't matter. We're a bit heavy, but that's only because of the guts. The climbing socks are better than wool socks, so let's replace them. They're lower now, but if I repair these, you'll see they're much better. There we go. See, they're 1 degree, while the other ones are half. So, very good. And there we go. So I think that's fine. We don't have any water, so we could maybe... We don't really need to, but we could just make a little bit of water. Just to have something. Actually, let's do 1.5. Let's pass some time here. We go take this with us and drink. There we go. And now we can leave. Now we are done with Milton. We're done with episode 1. We still have to leave though.
Some gear.
Yeah, well, you will drop some gear. Well, don't worry about it.
I'm gonna need to eat soon.
I smell a little bit because I have these guts on me. And again, I probably don't need these guts at all. I don't need them. But I'm still going to take them. Just because, you know, I might want to craft something in the next episode. I don't think I will, but seeing as I spent this time getting those resources, I might as well keep them, right? So let's just go. Now, here comes Wolfie. That's a surprise. There's not much more to do now. The only thing is to leave, and we will meet Methuselah again. So there's a bit more dialogue options to be had. And then once you leave, you're done with episode 1. Other than that, there isn't anything here to do other than what you decide to do. So now you can, of course, stay here. You can loot the rest of the houses. You can explore the nuances of the map. Just because every corner of the map doesn't have something quest related doesn't mean you can't go there. So there's still plenty of things to find. It's just a question of what you want to do, if you want to advance the story or if you want to stay here. And that's really up to you. For me though, I'm done. If there is anything interesting, I will point it out. Like, sometimes there is stuff that's not quest related that has really good loot somewhere. And if I'm aware of those, I will go and point them out. But in general, I'm just going to focus on the side quests and the main quests. And that's pretty much it. So for now, we're going to head up here. We're going to go to the picnic area. I would recommend getting rid of this wolf before attaching the rope, because when you attach the rope you pass time. It takes about 15 minutes in game to do, and that means that the wolf can attack you while you do it. If you stand in a certain spot, the wolf can't actually reach you, so that's fine, but nevertheless, maybe not risk it. Of course you can save it, so you can always take a precaution. Also try and get rid of the wolf like this. But you have to aim carefully, more like this, I guess. I did hit him, but it didn't work. And up here there's a little park office that will have a little bit of loot in it, and even a bed if you want to sleep a little bit. Of course, I need to drop my guts first. We could actually sleep here a little bit just to get a little bit of fatigue back, get rid of this wind and everything. So we can just go in here, and you should be warm in here actually. Drop the guts here. And did the wolf leave? Yeah, he's kind of going for the guts. This is weird. Is he going for a rabbit? What's he doing? Ah, he gave up. Okay, so in here there's a few bits. There's a History of Collapse Part 2. There's a leaflet talking about stuff. Again, if you want to know more about this stuff, it's on Toasty Bits channel. Actually, by the time you watch this video, it's possible that the YouTuber Toasty Bits has released a complete history of the Long Dark, which includes the collapse, which is what I narrate. I actually narrate in that video of his as a guest narrator. Lots of flare shells. So again, if you didn't bring the distress pistol with you as the optional supply, you can just come and do the highway robbery and go get it in the truck by the bridge, and then you'll find some additional flare shells here. We might as well check this stuff while we're here. We don't need the scrap metal, I don't think. You often find coffees in these things. I say often, but I mean it's... You can find 11 flare shells, so you get tons of those. Okay, we don't need this cowl. Let's just sleep here a little bit, because we're a bit cold, we're tired. Let's sleep here for like maybe 4 hours. There we are. Now it's not as windy, which is good. You still smell, but that's okay. What we just do now is we will head to
I could eat a horse.
This climbing area. I do recommend now, because I'm smelly, this is a general rule by the way, whenever you're doing something in the open that requires passing time, whether it's attaching a rope, passing time for water to boil, house a deer carcass, whatever it is that you're doing in the open, if you smell, which I do, if you click tab, you see I got these 3 little scent lines, kind of like little fires. I have 1 out of 3, which means I smell a little bit and wolves are attracted to me. If you have 3, you attract wolves from all over the place. If you have no stink lines, you still smell, but not as much. If you have 1 gut on you, or 1 piece of meat, you still smell even if it doesn't show up. My point is that you attract wolves if you carry stuff that smell. So what you want to do is you want to drop this either through the decoy mechanic or by dropping it through the inventory. So you don't smell while you're doing whatever you're doing. No matter what it is, if it's harvesting, whatever, even at a campfire. I'm also afraid of campfires, but even at a campfire, I would still do it, because what happens is that as the time passes, the wolves will come for you, and they, in a time lapse where they come very quickly, way past time, the wolves can actually ignore the fire by accident. So what happens is you're busy doing something like touching this rope or harvesting, and then a wolf shows up right next to you because you smell. So drop them instead, and then do this. So we're going to touch the rope now.
I have a bad feeling I'm never going to see this place again.
Oh, that's right, Will. You're not going to see this place again. But this is weird. I don't know why this rendering thing is happening. This shouldn't happen. It might be an interaction with the visual enhancements or something. But my settings are set to max. This shouldn't really be that. Let me just quickly have... Let me just, out of curiosity, see here if I look at display. Quality. You see, it's all set on ultra and high, draw distance. Something's up here. I don't know why this is happening, but oh well. Let's just pick this back up, and now we're going to go down this rope. If you tried, by the way, to go down without the rope, it would work now. I have done it. I'm too heavy. Oh yeah, okay, well, just eat something heavy. Eat peanut butter. You can't go down in while you're heavy. You can go down here just fine, but if you do it before the climbing gear is available, if you do it before Grey Mother's quest is done, you will just die. You just straight up die. That's to prevent people from cheesing the story.
That hurts a lot.
That's alright.
What the hell? I guess that rope was older than it looked.
Okay, so just so you know, that was supposed to happen. Sometimes I get people asking me, what should I do? The rope broke, you know, and then they quit and they reload and they try again and again, and they try to figure out how can I get down without breaking. It's supposed to break. I mean, that's why he even says that stuff. Remember, you're supposed to leave. You're not supposed to come back. It says the quest is to find your way out of Milton. So that's what this is. So you just leave. Don't worry about it. And now we got to go basically to the other side of this map. It's like right up here. And there's a couple of things in this area, but not much to worry about. The main thing is this tent over here, where you'll see Methuselah again. If you need anything, there's also sticks around, there's some mushrooms, there's a deer carcass here if you want to harvest that. There's wolves here in survival mode, but I don't think there is any story mode. There's also a cave here we could check out. Other than that, we're pretty much just done for the day. If you want to, seeing as we're right here by a fire anyway, and you really want to, remember you can now craft things like these hats and that. By the next episode, you can also craft deerskin stuff, I'm pretty sure. So if you wanted to, you could take this opportunity, just grab this stuff, seeing as you're warm anyway, and you have more stuff to cure later. I mean, why not? And here is good old Methuselah. Take his coffee. Now, you don't have to talk to him, but, you know, why wouldn't you? So this is your second encounter with this man. Let's just see what he has to say, and we'll do the usual stuff.
So, we meet again.
This what you do? Hang around campfires and share wisdom?
These are confusing times. Let me see if I can help you make sense of them. I'm an old man. I've seen many things. Some would say too many. I've seen this happen before. We've sinned. Now we're paying the price.
Are you talking about religion?
Not religion. Redemption.
Is this about the lights in the sky?
The lights in the sky are a reckoning. The wonder of humanity and all its creations laid bare. Her warnings went unheeded.
Whose warnings?
Mother Nature's. The signs were there for those willing to see them. This has all happened before. Soon we'll all be tested. We'll have to choose how far we'll go to survive.
What do you mean this has happened before?
Big change is coming. Are you ready to face it?
I'm no hero. I'm just looking for someone. Doing my best to survive in the meantime.
The end of Milton's story is a sad one. Too many people lost after already too much suffering. You chose to take mercy. To save a life that probably didn't deserve to be saved.
You mean the convict? How'd you know about that?
Whispers in the wind.
That bastard deserved to die, all right. But it's not for me to pass judgment on that.
Let's hope you hold on to your merciful ways, and the new world doesn't just grind you to dust.
Look, my friend is out there. I'm gonna find her, and then we're gonna get out of here. The power's gonna come back. We'll get the roads back open, Milton will recover. Everything will go back to being the way it's supposed to be.
How do you know this isn't how things are supposed to be?
Good luck, old man. Enjoy your apocalypse.
You keep your luck, stranger. I have a feeling you're going to need it.
And there we are. That's the last of the dialogues. We will see Methuselah again, at least once, maybe more. And I think you can actually take his stuff. Yoink. Yoink. And I was thinking, we don't really need to do this, but seeing as it's a warm day and we're right here and there's no walls right now, we might as well take this meat with us, or at least a kilo of the meat. And we can cook it later. We could actually maybe cook it here on his fire. Can we cook it on his fire? I think you can, yeah. We can just do that so we have one more thing to have. They were too heavy, but that's okay. This is, while that's cooking, have a quick look over here. So there's rabbits over here. There's also a cave over here. Doesn't matter what time of day it is now, by the way, because there's no more walls or anything. Now, episode 1 loot does, I believe, carry over to episode 2, but normally that won't be the case. So one thing I always say to people, when you play story mode, and also when you play challenges in the Long Dark, don't worry too much about your gear. You can just leave everything behind and be naked for all we care, because it's all going to disappear. So it doesn't matter what you have at the end of it. And that kind of applies now too, because this will eventually end. 77% on this bedroll. This one is 80. This is switch them around. What's in here? Beef jerky, painkillers, and matches. Very nice. And there's some wood here. We can sleep here if we need to, but I don't think we need to. Let's just go and... Oh, it started raining here, by the way. Nice, nice sky. By the way, the Methuselah talked about the lights in the sky, by which, of course, he meant the aurora. Now, we haven't really seen the aurora that much, so I haven't been out at night very much, so there hasn't been an aurora. But you will see the aurora more. There will be instances throughout the Wintermute where the aurora is forced. It's bound to happen, or you deliberately say go unconscious and then you wake up and the aurora is happening, or some such. It's going to happen multiple times, and it's particularly important in episode 2. Okay, let's just quickly see here. I'm carrying too much stuff. Let's eat this rabbit. Drink some water. And let me see if I can drop something that's heavy. We don't need so many matches. Look, there's so many matches. We'll drop some sticks. What's heavy? These are heavy, but I want those. Maries. I'm carrying too many flares. Maybe drop some flares. Actually, we can just drop some sticks. We have so many matches also. Let's drop the cardboard matches. And we can also drop this tinder. Drop some more matches, really. We got so many matches. Now I think we're good. Pick this up. Okay, let's go. And now we're going to leave here. Thank you, Milton. Thank you, Methuselah. Thank you, Grey Mother. Oh, thank you, Hobbs. let's head out of here. So that's the end of episode 1. As you saw, it took a little while to complete it, but that's because also I was doing all the side quests. I was also narrating a lot. I was taking things slow and explaining stuff. If you wanted to do this and just get it out of the way, if you did only the main story, you could probably do it in just an hour or so. Because if you do just the main story, you just get to Grandmother's house, and then you go pretty much to the Orca Station, pick a bunch of food, pick up all the wood you can on the way, maybe head to the cave where there's coal, and then you give that to Grandmother. It doesn't take long at all. After that, it's just pretty much, you know, going to the farm, going to the tunnel, going to the farm, bank deposit box, and then climbing gear. It's the main story, once you collected all the stuff for Grandmother, it's actually really short. And it doesn't cover a very large area either. So I have done speed runs of this episode. I don't think I ever released those videos because they were more experimental, but I have been able to do the whole of episode 1 in like 15-20 minutes if you do it quick enough. It doesn't take long at all. But it's a fun start to it, you know. It's a good episode 1. It's a good start to the story because you start somewhere that's kind of a small confined space. You teach the absolute basics of the game are taught to you. And it's not too broad, there's not too many places to go. You learn everything. Gosh, look at this amazing sky. So it's a good start. Episode 2 is much bigger, at least in terms of size. Look at this, it's stunning. I always say this, but the visual in this game is absolutely phenomenal. Even since early access, they've done a fantastic job with the weather. The weather and the scenery is just absolutely stunning. It's fantastic. It looks like a painting, which is the idea. So now we're going to head into episode 2, and we're basically going through this cave into Mystery Lake. It's another deer carcass. I'm wondering if I should take this one too, just to have it, assuming this actually does transfer. I don't need the feathers, but I'm going to take them anyway. Let's just grab, not the food, maybe we can grab the food too. Barely cold, so we'll just grab it. Then we have more stuff for the next episode. And if you do lose it, doesn't matter. Oh, I don't have many torches, so that's okay. You can use this. Now you just follow this river, and you get to the other side. Once we start episode 2, all the loot you have that you don't need, you can leave in Trapper's, because episode 2 starts in Trapper's cabin and Mystery Lake. That's kind of like your base of operations, and then you have multiple things to do across 3 different regions, and there's a whole bunch of side quests as well. But you can leave all the stuff in there. The Trappers is kind of like your grandmother's house, but except that it's a bit more. You got more things there, so it's a good base. So if you're heavy now, it doesn't matter. Okay, so here we are at the end in a second. You just follow this river. If you're in doubt, just check your map. You can see you're following it. Really not hard. At the end of this river, there is a cave, and that cave leads to Mystery Lake, which means you're at the end of episode 1. And that's all she wrote. A nice moonlit sky. What you can do if you want, you can right click and you get this effect. You're basically, the character's asking you to place the lantern, and then you can actually get the light of the lantern without having the lantern in front of you. Okay, here's the cave that I was talking about. Let's just douse this light for a moment. You might want to douse it before heading in case it burns the oil during cutscenes. Now before we leave, notice where we are. So the plane crash is actually right over there. You can kind of see it. It's a little bit hard to see in the dark especially, but it's right up there. That's where it is. If you look on the map, you can see I'm looking at the direction of the plane crash, which is here. We never went back to the plane crash after receiving the map, but that's where it is. So we kind of walk this way here. And that's it. So that's it. That's episode 1, everyone. That's the end of Do Not Go Gentle, as it was, episode 1 of Wintermute. Hope you enjoyed this walkthrough and found it useful. Let's celebrate with a flare in the air. Hope help arrives, but we have to continue and find Astrid. Not much for a flare if it falls to the ground, but here we are. Let's head into this cave. Okay, so now we gotta go through. Episode 2 doesn't start until we get to the other side, so just continue the search, it says. We're gonna do this part 2. I said goodbye there because we were leaving Milton, but we still have this little step to do here. And in these caves, it's not a very big cave, but in these cave systems, you'll find coal usually, which could be handy. You'll also find some miscellaneous loot. And this is basically the alternative route because the tunnels were sealed off. And you can't go via the main roads. So you have to go this way. And there's a few dead ends, like here for example. And there's coal. We don't really need it, but seeing as we're not that heavy and we're gonna come to trappers soon, we can just pick stuff up and be a bit heavy. It doesn't matter. There's no more climbing areas. I think the only climbing stuff in episode 2 are optional. I think there's one that you have to do. Yeah. Coal is very powerful because it warms you up so fast and it's ridiculously strong. But you don't really need the coal in story mode because, as you see, I'm playing on the hardened difficulty, the hardest difficulty, and it really has not been a challenge at all, the weather. And even if you do get cold, there's always some sort of refuge nearby. It hasn't been a challenge at all. But it's handy to have because coal will warm you up ridiculously quickly. Even on hardened difficulty, what story mode really is kind of like Voyager Plus. It's a bit harder than Voyager, but not much. Okay. More coal. You might as well pick it up. We'll deal with heavy inventory later. Should be right, but here's some more wood. Let's pick this up too, seeing as we're already heavy and we're almost there. We're walking slower, but it doesn't matter. Let's continue. Chuck to the cave. If you don't have the lantern, if you didn't find it, you should though, because there should be 2 of them. But if you didn't, just light a torch or a flare. And here's the end. This is where you exit Milton completely and enter Mystery Lake, which is the beginning of episode 2. So we will not go gentle, but we will walk gently. That is the end of episode 1. C'est la vie. Okay, so that was the end of episode 1. I hope you enjoyed this walkthrough of the entire episode, including all the side quests and everything that could go wrong and could go well. There's so much to do in this game, and the story takes you from one place to another, but there's all sorts of little things to look at as well. So now we have entered episode 2, which will be a separate video, of course. Please let me know if you enjoyed this walkthrough. I hope you found it useful, but also entertaining if you just were along for the ride. Episode 2 is going to be a little bit bigger. It's not necessarily a bigger story, but it's bigger terrain to cover, more things to do. So that one will probably be a bigger video than this one if I had to guess. So stay tuned for that one and hang in there. We're going to look for Astrid and deal with this old bear next. With all that being said, thank you so much for watching. If you liked it, if you watched all this way, if you do decide to like and subscribe, maybe leave a comment, that's a huge help to the channel. I really appreciate it. If you'd like to support the channel financially, becoming a Patreon is also a huge help because it is... what am I talking about? Patreons, even at the lowest tier of Patreon, you get a lot of benefits, like you get early access to videos. You can go to a Discord room that I check frequently, so it's easy to talk to me. And you get other perks as well, including permanent discounts in the merch store. There's a lot of little things to being a Patreon, and it helps the channel out tremendously. That being said, thank you to everyone involved, all Patreons, mods, and everyone involved. Thank you so much for supporting this video and the channel. I'll say thank you to you all personally when we finish all 5 episodes. Okay, that being said, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.